I don't know. I don't remember.
It's an impressive collage.
We're live.
I'll give you all a tour once we get in the swing of things.
Give us a little tour, Sasuke.
Wait, the f just happened?
Well, I think we're live, and I love your avatar. C. It's the drunken sea with. I'm sorry. Is that power behind you?
Yes, it's power. It's the only thing that I could find that would be random and weird.
Yeah.
What is good, everybody? It's the King of Anime Podcast. Hey, how you guys doing?
What's up, Sean? What's up, Decrepit Storm? Hey, Carp. Hello, Light Ruler from I guess last night.
We are now in the future.
Yep, this is the King of Anime Podcast, which, if you're not familiar, is the only podcast to deal in corrupt politics. That's right. We're the reason America is where it is.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Can you just take credit for the good stuff?
I want to take credit for the good stuff. I don't want to be known for inflation. I want to be known for the free shit.
Yeah, you know how much chips cost nowadays?
It's ridiculous.
It is bad. Like, remember, because I thought it was bad whenever they changed it from, it used to be back in the day, back when I was coming up, 4 chips for $1, and they were smaller chip bags back in the day. And then it went to 2 for $1. And they were bigger chips, but I was like, whatever, it's something that you got accustomed to and you dealt with it. And then they had like the $2 bag of chips, which are big, and that was a good moment in time. And then everything changed. I don't know what year it happened. Everything changed. The chips that used to be $1 are now like 2 something.
It's ridiculous.
It's gotten to a point where we just have to we gotta revolt. Pitchforks, torches,
let's see.
Maybe a guillotine here or there. We gotta shake things up.
Like King George.
Something. I mean, the French do a pretty job. I bet if I went to France, the chips wouldn't cost that much. Not for long, either way.
I mean, they may. They may.
Well,
the crazy thing about chips too is, like, I feel like a long time ago they used to be so much fuller. Now it's like half the bag. And I love the excuse of, oh, well, we just do it that way because we don't want it to pop and we don't want the chips to break. It's like, you guys are just asses. That's all it is. You want to keep things the same, or try to keep things about the same price, but give us less and make it seem like you're giving us the same thing when it's not. So, F them.
Things taste different too. Like, I'm not a big fan of a lot of Little Debbie snacks anymore.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's less of me growing up. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's a good thing. You probably don't want to fill up with just sweets and stuff, but I definitely feel like they changed the ingredients on some things to maybe skimp out. And as a result, I'm not a big fan. I used to be a big fan of like oatmeal pies. Zebra cakes. Cakes were for me.
Swiss
Star
rolls.
Crunch, Swiss rolls. Swiss rolls was the thing that because Swiss rolls I always used to eat. It got to a point where one year I just bit into it and I was like, something ain't right about this.
Yeah,
I still hate it.
It's like some acidic kind of taste to it. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can taste the factory workers' sweat.
That's probably in there, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised.
All the children with their little fingers working away. QRW6 says, what up, KOA? Good to see y'all back at it again. Finished Food War Season 5, which was the lowest and ending point of the series. Season 3 was the downfall, but the anime kept it good visually. And he said, are KOA questions back? They are.
Back.
I wholeheartedly agree with QRW6 said. I dropped Food Wars Season 3. I just...
Same.
Oh, God. I did used to like that show, but once they introduced Erina's father as the antagonist, and I just felt like things got to a point in that series where the stakes were too high for me to feel any tension. Like when you bring on the threat of expulsion, obviously you're not going to actually expel the main characters or any of his friends. So when you it works in a weird way. When you raise attention too high to unrealistic standards of there being consequences for failure, that was my issue with it. I knew they were just going to win out, and from that point on, it was just series became whatever for me.
Yeah. I the third season, that was when they were on the train for some reason, right?
Yeah, they had like a training thing on the train.
Yeah, I gave up around that time too. I was like, I just can't get into this like I used to. Because the first season was my favorite. It was so goofy and ridiculous, but it was fun and entertaining. But I don't know. Maybe if I ever watched it again, I'd probably hate it. But
Maybe.
yeah, I don't care for it no more. And
Favorite
it's good
character?
to hear. What's her face's cousin?
Alice.
Yeah, Alice was
Mm.
cool, and even though she had a little part in it, Nikumi was fun. But then in other seasons, she just fell off like a lot. She's basically the girl that's blonde and like wears the
Miko.
American Miko.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Miko. Mhm.
I don't know why I thought it was Nikumi for some reason.
No, I
But,
think that's her last name.
Oh,
I think you're right.
but yeah, her just because she was everything American. She's like, this is how I cook, boing.
She had a great theme song. Her theme song is great. If you guys don't remember it or you haven't listened to it, listen to Mito's theme. Food Wars is actually a really good OST. It's the one that goes like, ooh, ooh. I can't really do it, but it was nice.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. So EA, there was a story that you were going to tell before the podcast about something about Alabama or something. I'm curious.
Okay. No, this is Alabama. This is the same place that Vash the Stampede resides.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise.
So there was an incident that happened, I guess, in the docks, in the pier, because it was near the ocean. And there was this guy who was doing their job, security officer, that was telling them to move their boat. And I guess to draw the picture, the dudes that were drunk and being belligerent and were not wanting to move the boat were white people, and the security guard was black. And for some reason, it turned into where it was a confrontation. They were being, aggressive, and then they started beating up the security officer. Like, it was probably like 4 or 5 white dudes, and it was. People have turned this into like memes or whatever because the security guard takes his hat and throws it up in the air. It's like a bat signal. It's the funniest shit.
Save me!
Because I kid you not, after that happened, I forget what those big giant boats are called. I think they're called like ferries or Marriotts or something. Basically, everybody came to the security guy's defense, and they freaking whooped these guys' ass.
Wow.
And it was all caught on camera and video and everything, and it was just, however you feel about fights, whenever it comes to that, it is what it is. But I just love it when people get their just desserts. People thought they could get away with it and just like, oh, we're gonna beat up this guy, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, it was like maybe 10 black guys that came. Some people were skipping, pulling up their pants. They were just ready. They were ready. One guy jumped off the boat and swam to the shore because he was going to get in on this fight. And yeah, like I said, they whooped everyone's ass. People were getting thrown off into the ocean. There was a chair involved that somebody was like WWF type stuff, and it was absolutely just incredible. Just like I said, I mean, people got arrested and whatnot, but it's like I said, it's cool to see just that kind of like street justice come, and justice was indeed served that day, and they created so many memes off of that. It's incredible. If you have not seen it, I recommend checking it out just so that you could be like, yeah.
I like how QRW6 says in the chat, Avengers Endgame memes.
They had those for that. They literally had those.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that sounds like a good thing just for unity, because I think a lot of people, especially like how opinions circulate on social media, a lot of people will lead you to believe that they're just only concerned about themselves. Like, we kind of turned into a society that doesn't want to, we don't want to be a community. We kind of just want to be individuals that live together, and that's not the same thing. So whenever, people have somebody, will have somebody else's back when they're wronged or they're being jumped or whatever, that's a good sign, actually.
Yeah.
You don't want people to get hurt, but at the same time, it sounds like a case of, as Decrepit Storm said, justice. So,
well, welcome to KOA, where every week we talk about some old but mostly new seasonal anime, and we decide every third episode if we're going to kill or pass it. Kill, of course, meaning we don't gotta watch the show anymore. And of course, as we've learned over the years, KOA is just a seal of approval. If you can get a pass by KOA, that increases profits by nearly $6 trillion.
Yeah, not to brag or anything like that, but whenever we say something is good, it usually, sells a lot more. Who's to say? Really, just check the numbers on anything we ever talked about. Whenever we say something is bad, usually it's getting axed within the week. Authors are, everybody's burning their books or whatever. So it's not that much of a stretch to say that our word is law. It's just the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? So King of Anime, the king, is not there just for show. This is a monarch. Everybody bow down. This is the King of Anime. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All hail. Okay. There you go.
Decrepit Surf says KOA, where every week we talk about justice.
Mm-hmm. Where's Rachel?
Where are they?
I say that once a week, and I have no reason to say that at any time. Where's Rachel?
It's like, who's Rachel? Stop hitting me.
Well, let's go ahead and let's get into the news for the week, which we've got, a good handful of stuff that has been officially announced.
This is true. So the first big thing is that Sound Euphonium is coming back.
Are they going to make out? That is the question.
No,
they're not.
Foolish question. Foolish question. Sound Euphonium has solidified itself as one of the most egregious anime when it comes to perpetuating Yuri bait.
Oh, absolutely. It is. Oh,
yeah. I think Kill Annie in general does that a lot, but I think Sound Euphonium is the poster, just because I keep remembering that scene of Reina and I can't remember the main girl. I can't remember the main girl's name, but them literally like face to face, like this should be a kiss, and then that doesn't happen.
One of the most popular shots of the show.
Yeah.
There's literally a scene where they're both in the bed together underneath the covers. I think, unless I'm mistaking that for another show. And they're like talking about their future, and they're this close to each other. It's like, you might want to back up a little bit.
No.
I smell your breath.
How else are they going to make fan arts of us?
That's true. How else are they going to sell figures? But yeah, what do you guys think about this? It's been nearly 10 years since the last season?
Yeah, I think season 1 either came out in 13 or 14, and then I think 2 or 3 years later was the second season. So it was like 15 or 16. I can't remember. But the fact that they're making another one after all these years is shocking, to be honest. But this is KyoAni, so they do kind of like to make them sequels. Well, that's not true. I'm still waiting for season 2 of The Girl That's Curious.
Hyoka.
Hyoka.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
right.
awesome.
I want a season 2 of that. I've been wanting that for years.
I don't think
I
we're
love
ever going to
Hyoka.
get that because
Probably not.
the
I mean,
director died.
oh, did he really?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
murdered.
Murdered?
Yeah, it happened in the fires, right? Correct.
Yeah, the
Oh shit! You're
case
kidding.
of an arson.
Oh
Mhm.
my god! See, I didn't know that. Man, it probably will never happen then. That sucks.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is really rather unfortunate, but
Uh.
excited for season 3. In my opinion, just
Mhm.
because I thought it's a series I remember really nothing about, but I remember the feeling when I watched it and my opinions going away from it, and I really enjoyed the season, the season 1 and season 2. Season 2, I think looking back, I think it's a little bit more hated than season 1, but only like marginally. But yeah, the one thing that I hated about it was the Yuri bait, and I hope we get away from that with season 3, and I hope
You know we won't.
I know, but I just hope we get more sound euphonium and we get a nice conclusion to this story.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, they still have the movies out, which I haven't watched. I don't know if it's canon to the story, as in like you had to watch it to understand what's going on with this coming season. So
Yeah,
that may be something I had to look into.
Yeah, there's Liz and the Bluebird, I believe is what one of them is called, and it has I don't think it has any of the characters in Sound Euphonium.
Does it have any bluebirds?
Maybe.
If it's called that and it doesn't even have any bluebirds.
I think there was some in promotional art, at the very least.
There's just a dead bluebird on the front cover.
Pretty
It's
bird.
literally going to be Twitter.
Pretty bird.
It's literally just Twitter.
It's X. Just
Oh my god.
it's carrying a dead bird that has X's in its eyes.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then the next one we have My Hero Academia, the movie, officially announced. Did we already get some movies?
We did. We got
there-
3 of them. This is the 4th one.
Yeah.
It's literally called The Movie. Everything else has been Rising Heroes. Forget the names of them because I really didn't watch them. They're kind of like stuff that you can skip. They don't really add anything, at least to me anyway. But this one is the 4th one, and it's called My Hero Academia, the movie.
So
It's
is
like,
it canon
what
to the
makes-
story?
This movie, I don't know. They just announced it. So I don't know if it's going to be canon. I don't know. I know Hollywood announced a long time ago that they were actually going to make a live action My Hero Academia, for Hollywood and whatnot. But they kind of already made that with Sky High.
Yeah.
Anybody ever seen Sky High?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, I
long
used to
time
love
ago.
that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Great
Yeah.
stuff.
So how do y'all feel about movies as far as it pertains to it being canon to the story? Like, do you like that that sometimes you have to watch a movie to get the whole story for anime, or would you prefer it to just be a TV series throughout?
I think if they do it sloppily, I think that's where I get annoyed by it. Like, I think the way Demon Slayer is in I guess maybe as an extension AOT is doing it is kind of the correct way to do it, because you get your season, you get like a year break, and then you get your movie, and then you get another year break, and then you get your season again. And it's promote, like, the promotional for it is very like, this is the next step in the story. So I would much rather prefer it to be canon, and for them to not like release it too quickly and just take their time with it. I think maybe Chainsaw Man is rumored to be getting an anime, or maybe it was leaked or confirmed, and they're taking like the Demon Slayer approach to that. And I think that's much better than doing, you know, like a bunch of non-canon movies, which I think short term make money, but I think long term, I think people would just forget about them because they don't mean anything. Like, how many does Dragon Ball Z and like Bleach and Naruto and One Piece? How many movies do they have that nobody cares about? Nobody talks about.
Dragon Ball has like
7 or more, probably.
It has more. It has more. It's definitely like
at least.
Yeah, I think it's like 12, 13 around that number. It's a lot of Dragon Ball movies.
And it's funny because some of those Dragon Ball movies turned into what Super became. Like they took the Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F and turned them into storylines for
we don't talk about Resurrection
Dragon Ball Super. It's true though.
Frieza, Frieza, Frieza.
It's a good song. It's there is one that I did love, and I love Dragon Ball Super Broly. That was my favorite. Like that one, if they just have that as a movie, canon it, and then just continue the story, I'd be fine with it. But
I hope they do.
I'm indifferent with Dragon Ball when it comes to Super and everything. But I loved Super Broly. That's probably my favorite one. I'm looking forward to the Spy Family movie that's coming out. I'm going to be watching that in theaters. I like Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I watched that in theaters. Like, I definitely feel like they have a place. And, you know, being broken up the way that they... Like when Demon Slayer, you had the Mugen Train movie, and it was great. And then they decided to just take that exact same movie and just split it up when I feel like they didn't really need to. You already had the movie. You didn't need to make it a series as well. So, yeah, I enjoy the movie, and then you continue right back into the story episodically.
Okay.
Carp says One Piece has 15 movies. 15.
Yeah. Goddamn.
They're all, at least that I'm aware of, all non-canon. So,
can someone tell me what happened to the Madoka Magica movie? Is that still a thing?
I think so. I thought it would be out by now.
I don't know. Maybe everybody's just asleep. Everybody's busy.
Maybe Urobochi, he's working on, I don't know, something else.
Working on ruining somebody else's Yuri ship. That's what he does best.
That's true. That's true. But next up, we have an announcement for Kaiju number 8. It's coming out April 2024. I've actually talked about this in my server a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but I wish I had these images. But the anime designs are different from the manga designs. They're
in a good way or a bad way?
A bad way. They're kind of generic.
Okay.
And apparently the kaiju designs, which if you're not familiar with what kaiju means, monster.
Yeah, Japanese translation for monster.
Yeah.
And it's a genre of Japanese film.
Mm-hmm. And the monsters are designed by Studio KOA, which are the people that did the Evangelion tetralogy movies that recently just finished. And if you don't know what Evangelion is, it's basically a kaiju mech thing. Like I can't really describe Evangelion. It's very avant-garde, but it's super highly influential series. But basically, it's like just mechs fighting a bunch of angels that come from outer space, and they're basically kaijus. So they're and they made the tetralogy films, which is the rebuild of Evangelion films, which are, you know, really well designed. I think this is Hideki Anno's studio as well, Studio KOA. That also means that if you're a YouTuber, God save your soul, because you're probably not going to be able to cover this because Studio Kara is very aggressive with copyright. So.
Sheesh.
Sounds like a challenge.
Let's do this.
Not for me. Not for me. Somebody else. I'm not touching that.
But yeah, I would recommend searching up the anime designs as compared to the manga designs. It's like, one of them is like, the manga, it has like a lot of depth to them, a lot of edge to them, and then the anime designs are like very generic, like there's no memorability at all.
So you're saying it's like JJK, except reverse, where the anime benefit is way better than the manga.
Yeah.
Reverse curse JJK.
That was my move.
Sean says, I just finished the Evangelion series and watched End of Eva. Should I watch the other movies? I didn't like the third Rebuild film, but yeah, I mean, I give it a shot. It's interesting. So it's not going to replace the original in any capacity. It can't.
It's not, as far as I'm aware, it's not a thing you have to do.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So basically, I like to think of it as just Evangelion, but modernized for a film going audience. But yeah, what do you? Would any of you guys know anything about Kaiju number 8? Are you excited for it?
It's something that I've seen on my timeline occasionally, but I have no knowledge of the series, and thus I really have no excitement for it. So
yeah, I know you talked about it, and as soon as I heard the word kaiju, I myself am a fan of kaiju. I love Godzilla movies. I love those old school ones, the new school ones, Gamera. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about those old kaiju movies that are just so goofy in the fact that they're like little, like, if it's a Japanese kaiju movie, a pagoda always has to be destroyed. It's theoretically like a trope at this point. It's like in a zombie movie, you never say the creatures are zombies. That's like something it's a golden rule. You never call zombies in zombie films or series or whatever. But
the living dead.
Yeah, they call living dead, walkers, anything except zombies. That's always the golden rule. But I don't know. I mean, I'd give it a watch just because of the word kaiju, and I love monster movies. But I wouldn't know anything about the designs, like, or anything in particular when it comes to the manga. But sure, I'll give it a watch. Like, is the manga good?
Yeah, it's very popular. To the fact it's getting an anime. I've never really read it past chapter 1, and I don't remember it. But I remember when it first started its syndication, and a lot of people were super hyped for it, and it's kind of continued on since then. So I guess we'll see. But the production for this anime is quite interesting because it's a lot of different studios taking a lot of key parts in it. It seems some of them aren't holding up their end of the work, so we'll see if they redesign them. I hope they do. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen something be redesigned. Remember Shield Hero? Season 1, before it even came out, they delayed it and they redesigned all the characters, and they got some new designers in for it, and the designs for that show are, to this day, much better than the originals, except for Murder Turtle.
Yeah, I didn't remember any of that, but I know that they literally did the redesign for Sonic in the Sonic movie, because I don't know what the fuck he was before, but he wasn't Sonic. He was
he's a furry.
roadkill rat on the side of the road.
He was Satan. He was Satan.
He must have been, because when they listened to the fans and actually redid Sonic, he looked like Sonic. It's like, wow, we want a movie about Sonic, and they're happy that they look like Sonic. Go figure.
Yeah. Also, Jim Carrey's last films. Sad. I cry.
Yeah. He may come back for the third one, but if he does, that would probably be his last movie, because he's officially retiring from acting.
And then finally we got on the bracket here for news, Goblin Slayer Season 2 is coming out October 2023. Why the fuck is this on the list? Who did this?
It was me. Hey, Satsuki. What are you doing? Hey, wake up!
Oh, well, anime's favorite hero.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna indulge in it.
We'll definitely tell us how it is, I guess.
I will. I'll tell you how much boobs are in this one.
I still remember the creative decision, a brilliant decision, one that Elon Musk would love, of not naming characters and instead giving them or calling them by. I can't even say the
job descriptions.
I can't even say that. I can't even say that because one was like
cowgirl.
Well, we called her cowgirl. Like, what the fuck does that actually mean? She got big boobs. She working on the farm with the big boobs. So that's her job, having big boobs.
I mean,
and then there was like elf girl or like arch. I don't.
Witch Bobs.
Witch Bobs.
Witch Bobs. That's the worst.
That talked super slow and she was smoking. They know she smelled disgusting. She's just like, "Let me get this thing for you. Hold on." And she sounds like she's from like the East Coast. "I'll get this for you. Hold on, darling. Here you go." The fuck did you just give me? A smelly, boob sweaty dollar. No, it was a map. That's what it was.
Lady, you smeared the entire map.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, darling.
I think I got episode 5 of that show, and I called it quits.
Yeah. We drove C insane.
In the membrane.
The Cripple Store said Elon would make an anime where all the characters have one-letter names. I think it would be worse, and they would have like just names that you can't pronounce. Like, they'll have names that you can't like just say outwardly. It would have to you forcing the sound. It would be like.
I am a fearsome warrior. My name is.
Come inside.
So, did speak reverse.
Well, that's it for the news, I guess. It is now time to get into our first segment of the show, Nakama Club. Of course, Fate Zero, episode 16 and 17.
This is my favorite stretch of Fate, by the way.
Same.
My absolute Fate. Yeah. 16
is my favorite episode of all time.
Understandably so.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we should start with 16, which is, like I said, my favorite episode. This was fucking insane. I remember when I first watched this, I got goosebumps.
You got goose pimples.
Anybody remember Goose Game? Or is it Duck Game? What was it?
Oh yeah, it was the untitled Goose Game, and he would just go around picking up things, and he would just go, "Oh."
I played that game. It was fun. But yeah,
it's on the Switch.
Yeah, you gotta play it. It's great. Basically, this whole episode is about Kiritsugu and Maya getting the upper hand on Kanath and Lancer, and essentially defeating them, eliminating them from the Holy Grail War in one of the coldest, most just violent and evil acts that I think Kiritsugu has done in this series. I say evil, but
yeah, he would fight you on that evil title based on what we saw at the end of the episode. He would
necessary,
definitely be
we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and one of my favorite moments in this episode was when Lancer curses them all as he is slowly returning back to the spirit world.
I felt bad for the guy. The guy was literally told to kill himself, and he was this humble, just all about chivalry and just ready to just fight.
In front of his
Lancer,
girlfriend too.
not Lancer, right? Saber.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just bloodshot eyes, yellow, evil, just curse all of you! Just the change in his voice. I was just like, whoever the voice actor was did a really good job with that. I was like, holy crap.
I think he's the director of the dub for this.
Well, it was really good. Like, I was literally like, whoa. I was not expecting that. And also, I almost kind of had a feeling with the terms where it was like, I can't kill you, but I'm like, but he has her. She could easily, Maya, she could easily totally kill him. And as soon as I was thinking that, she did. So I was like, oh, there it is. Well, I guess I kind of saw that coming because he doesn't kind of play fair. But at the same time, he didn't play fair either. He took a the hell is it called? An emblem from the priest, and then he killed him so that other people wouldn't do it. So,
yeah,
I mean, he didn't play fair either.
I think what the episode was going for, besides the big theme that we'll talk about later, is just it's kind of poetic in a way because he killed Rise so that other people who participated in the downfall of Castor wouldn't get command seals, and he dies in a very similar underhanded method where, Maya's sniping him from afar. So he kind of got what he deserved. So like, even if you thought like, oh, what Kiritsugu did was not, it trampled on the honor of Saber and Kiritsugu and he broke the contract in an indirect way, he kind of got what was coming to him, especially even besides killing Rise, what he was saying to Lancer throughout the whole entire episode, which was, I think we could say, rooted in jealousy because of his wife being a little, a little choosy, as they would say.
The actor for Lancer is George Grant.
Yeah, he did great.
Yeah, he did.
It was really good.
Good job, George.
Come on our show, George.
We won't hurt you.
Yeah, I'll no. Why would we hurt him? I just want to compliment him.
Give us your soul.
Okay, well, now he's definitely not coming on.
This is a soul.
Yeah.
Gosh.
What is that shit?
I lost mine a long time ago to Hollow.
Maybe you might want to get a refund.
Yeah, you can.
Trust me. I've been trying to get it for years.
Need a receipt.
What does it say? Here in the notes, Kotomine has a confused boner.
Okay, so that was another thing in the episode. So Kotomine is wondering why he didn't kill looking through the notes, trying to find his name, sifting for his name. Why can't I find his name? Karya. He's wondering why he didn't kill Karya, and he's like, wow. No. Actually, no. Before that. Well, actually, no, because he found out about his father's death the next episode. But yeah, he's struggling with why he didn't kill Karya. He was like, he was right there. And I didn't kill him despite him maybe interrupting what he would have with might. And I was like, the whole time he just sounded very bricked up. Like he sounded horny, figuring out what reasons he didn't kill this guy. So it was just, he had a confused boner. He wasn't sure, but he was definitely kind of horny.
Yeah, you also have the notes here. Lancer basically confesses to Saber. Brave Saber, the only thing in this world that grants my heart peace is your honor and the purity of your fighting spirit. And then in parentheses it says, "C, do something." What am I supposed to do? I don't understand.
I mean, like, listen, if this was like some rom-com, I would definitely ship Saber and Lancer. I'm not, which is weird for me because I've always been a Saber Iris person, but rewatching this, I'm like, Lancer and Saber have so much sexual tension between each other. It's actually appalling.
And really, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how like compatible Saber is with so many characters in this series when compared to like Fate Stay Night, where it's like you can really only see her liking Chiro because of everyone else fucking hates her or is taken or.
I don't see Saber and Ryder getting along.
I think.
Oh no, well when we say compatible in this series, it's kind of just like with her, Iris, Kiritsugu, Lancer. That's really it. I mean, Gilgamesh likes her somewhat, but that's
Gilgamesh would be a Sindura the whole time, going, "I don't here's some flowers for you. I didn't get them for you, Baka."
That's really funny.
That's what he would do.
That's.
I don't think anything of you, but here is some chocolates I made for Valentine's Day.
I guess I can spare one of my great treasures to you, Saber.
Yep. That's exactly what would happen.
How dare you treat me like a woman, Gilgamesh? Now draw your blade.
Yeah, and
then he pulls down his pants.
It's a lot of sexual attention through these fights, but yeah, you didn't really get much of a fight from Saber and Lancer this episode. It was all what the focus was really the battle of the ideology between Saber and Kiritsugu at the end of the episode, because even with him doing a contract or whatever, it wasn't really even about Kenneth or Salau or any of those characters. It was how Kiritsugu views the world and how he views this war, and how Saber views the world and how she views this world. Because for Kiritsugu, and this was kind of hinted at by Saber, he is kind of jaded to the world, and maybe that has something to do with him at one point putting heroes on a pedestal and maybe being disillusioned to that. But his whole thing is, we're in this thing to kill people. There's no honor among this, or even if there is, that doesn't make it better than killing the way I do, which is underhanded and very pragmatic. He kills in the most efficient way. It's very robotic. It's just however the shortest route to what I want to achieve, that is the route I will take. And Saber and Lance, so you could throw them both in the same pool. They just see things as we had to uphold our pride throughout it all. And of course, Kiritsugu never gave a fuck about any of that. And that puts them at odds with each other.
Yeah, it's quite a tense relationship. I always like, when I first watched this series, I was always very confused. Like at this point, not like this episode in particular, but by this point I was just like, Kiritsugu, it's Saber. Why are you guys not working it out? But now I sort of realize, especially now that I'm much older, I kind of understand where he's coming from and his perspective much more, where it feels like he's doing these things almost out of necessity to a degree for some ideologic perspective that he has. And I don't want to say too much about that, because I don't know if I should talk about that quite yet, because that's a really big plot point for Kiritsugu. But
yeah,
this episode really benefits, I think, on rewatches, because I think it's the perfect example that shows his logic and his character throughout this. It's not that he wants to do it, it's that it's a cutthroat world he's in, a world of mages that are already is already quite disturbing, harsh, unforgiving. And if he doesn't do it, someone's going to do it to him. It may not be Kenneth or Solao or Lancer, but it may be a caster, it may be a Gilgamesh, because they will take the chance to do that if they can. Because these as well, another thing that's kind of subtle in this, all of their masters aren't weak. These masters are just as deadly as their servants.
Mm-hmm.
And they can fight back. They could get out of, like, they don't have to go to the church to get protected if they don't want to, for some of them. Some of them, they could still win it without a servant. So it's kind of crazy, but it just goes to show what his perspective is, and really, I think, a reflection of everyone else's perspective, which is they're in this, they got to do it. They got to go all the way.
And keep this in mind too. Although Kenneth is kind of treated like a joke in this series with how easily he gets beat by Kiritsugu, I mean, it took those psychological attacks for him to have the upper hand against him. Keep in mind, this guy had enough. He had enough to. He's supposed to originally be Ryder's master. Keep that in mind. He wasn't supposed to be with Lancer. I don't know how things would have worked if he did have Ryder. It'll probably been more the same, to be honest. But he's as a mage, he's pretty strong. It's just that Kiritsugu, I think his pride was his downfall, and then also just the whole his wife being taken hostage thing warped his views. So it kind of hampered his talents in this war, or whatever, because he's pretty solid as a mage.
Yeah.
Like on a fringe of the three great families.
Yeah. He's super powerful and talented in this world, but this is not going to be in the rest of the series. This is in a spin-off that's more of a direct follow-up to this, but it pertains to that. But I do want to ask it, just in case anyone watching has already seen these things and want to hear insight. How do you think Waver would react to Kenneth's death? Because remember, Kenneth is his professor at the clock tower.
I mean, I feel like he wouldn't like the way he died, considering it was for Kiritsugu. We could say all we want about, like, because this is what companies do. They'll grill you on the actual wording and things, and they'll neglect the actual intent behind things. Kiritsugu did that whole contract knowing full well what was going to happen to Kenneth. Obviously, like, this was orchestrated by him. So I think he would kind of oppose the underhanded tactics that went into that. But and then Waver 2 is somebody who's very he doesn't like the loss of life. So he'll probably be a little shaken up by his death. I don't think he'll be saddened, but I think he'll be a little, like, uneasy about it all if he were to see this unfold, or know all the details involved in it.
What do you think, EA?
Pretty much the same, really. I mean, like, to know that that your professor died that way after seeing him being this super strong mage and everything, that would be, I don't know, that would kind of suck. It's like, well, how old Western folktales are, Wild Bill and all these other different, cowboys back in the day. They have these tall tales and giant stories about them. All of them got shot in the back. And, getting shot in the back is the most cowardly thing, especially during that time. But, I feel like it would be kind of like that. It's like this legend, this great sorceress mage, whatever, dies like that. That would be Waver would definitely take very much not a liking to that, and I feel like that would definitely be something where I don't know, maybe he would do so. I don't know what he would do. He's still technically just a kid. Like, what could he do? Maybe he holds a grudge. Maybe he tries to like get Kiritsugu when he's older and has learned more things. Maybe it's a revenge story.
Well, if anyone is curious, the spin-off is called Lord El Melloy. So, which is Kenneth's title in this. He is, before his death, he is the official Lord El Melloy, which I think he is the second El Melloy, or maybe the third. And Waver eventually, Waver Velvet becomes Lord El Melloy in the follow-up. It takes place 10 years later. He's an adult. His assistant as well in the series is a descendant of Saber. So, but yeah, as well at the end of this episode, Iris basically collapses, and she's she dead.
No, she was just starstruck by Saber.
Oh, Saber, you're so cool.
I know. She's like, Saber, I just wanted to tell you. Kawaii desu
I mean, it's not really much of a thing that you're anticipating because you kind of get the reason for why she did that in the next episode. But yeah, she got the hots for Saber. That's why she fainted.
Totally. Totes.
Yep.
She was riding things in between her legs, and she wished that it was her.
Saber did get a new motorcycle.
That's true. She was like, this feels more like a horse. This fits my style.
Well, I guess let's go ahead and get into that. Episode 17. What did you guys think about this one?
Ooh, EA, take us home.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, because I know I'm skipping to the end and everything of this episode and whatnot, but forgive a sword or a knife as a going away present. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like they could be the most trustworthy person in the world. Here, for being such a great student, here's a shotgun. It's loaded too. It's jewel encrusted and everything. You can hang it on your mantle. Everything will be great. Then you go ahead and you walk while he's behind you. You just walk ahead of him. You don't think maybe in the back of your mind you're like, maybe I shouldn't do this. I just gave them a dangerous weapon. Maybe they won't stab. And then he died.
Well,
To be honest, I have no sympathy for him.
I got to change my Christmas gift to you, EA. Shit.
I'm not gonna walk behind you.
Well, now I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Are you sure? Are you sure you won't? Okay.
I'm pretty sure we can walk side by side. Look, we could be we'll shoulder to shoulder. Be like, okay, we're walking out the door together. Walking out the door together.
I think I'm going to wear some armor. Maybe a helmet, maybe a couple of different accessories. Then I'll give you what I want to give you.
Oh, okay.
Just to be 100% sure.
Fair enough.
Also,
But what's this guy's name?
We're talking about
the dad.
Tokiomi?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care that he died.
Yeah, he's...
I don't think we care.
You would think
He's
that
a bad
Tosaka
father.
would... Yeah. I think a Tosaka would live up to, It's weird. I like Rin way more than the father. You think the father would be kind of badass?
Yeah. He's kind of stupid.
The only person he really gets to flex on throughout the series, it is a problem with him as like a person who you're supposed to see as one of the great mages. He kind of only gets his opportunity to show that he's one of the great mages against, check notes, Karya. we don't have any respect for Karya as a mage, a guy who basically wanted to abandon this until he found out that his crush and his crush's daughters were in trouble. So that's the only time he's really ever cool, because any other time he's just, Gilgamesh, is this all right? Are you fine with this, Gilgamesh? He's basically a servant to Gilgamesh, which is intentional. It's like the theme of the servant and master thing being flipped on his head with their relationship. But yeah, he's just, when he dies, it's like, okay, cool. I guess we're new chapter. Finally.
Freaking this is the same guy that gave his own daughter up to a bunch of dick bugs. I have zero sympathy for this person.
Yeah, that is true. The best description of the Mato family I've ever heard in my life. Dick bugs.
I mean, that's a better. I mean, honestly, that kind of brings light to it. That makes it a little bit easier to say than crest worms. That just sounds like it's going to be in some snuff film or something.
You need to put this in the Wikipedia. Just
Let me
they're
pour
dick
my
bugs now.
crest worms on you.
I don't care. I don't care what they're officially called. They're dick bugs now.
All right, I'm gonna go to their Wikipedia and change it.
Also,
no, I'm
this
kidding.
blade, I think it's called the Azoth blade, or something like that.
It wasn't very Azoth when it went through him.
It was sturdy, very sturdy.
Well,
a sturdy and a sharp.
This dagger, this is actually a nice callback to the original visual novel. It's something that does reappear in Heaven's Feel, and I don't think it appears in Unlimited Blade Works, and also appears in Fate Stay Night, Fate Route. So it's a very important dagger, very symbolic, and the fact that it's used like this is pretty crazy if you've seen the other series for this. So this was a neat little thing. They didn't even have to put in there, but they did, and they were able to use it in a way to kill Tosaka's father, which we'll figure out what happens to that dagger in the Unlimited Blade Works. Pretty fucked up.
I just want to read Perry's comments real quick. He said, if the armor don't have LV on it, I don't want to see Sasuke wearing it. Louis Vuitton armor. You won't catch me wearing that because I don't got the money. He got to check in with Big Gil. True. Chill on my guy. He did what he had to do as a mage. Father, chop it up to the game. I mean, to some degree, that's true. He had to raise Ring the way he did for her to be. Me and Cia already watched Unlimited Blade Works, so for her to be as great as she was, but
dick bugs.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I don't know if you had to do that to Sakura for Rin to be great. You know what I mean? That's kind of where you fucked up at. And then at the same time, you're a bad husband too. So you're bad all around. You're a bad mentor, bad husband, bad father. Yeah. So you got a bad death.
Yeah, he's just It all fits with him. Everything about him is bad, including his death.
Yeah. His wife is bad, so hey.
There you go.
Hey, Karya. She's single now.
Wait, the other guy had a crush on her, so he could just swoop in now.
I don't think he's going to be successful now that he has the worms crawling all around his face.
You're right. Damn it.
This might be a job for Sasuke the Savage.
Wait a moment. Shiro banged Sakura in Heaven's Feel. She's got worms all up in her.
It's true.
I don't like that description.
Where are you getting at?
I'm saying is, why can't it work? Why can't Karya still get with Aoi?
All right. Well, listen. It's probably not the first time she's had a little worm inside her. Oh!
That's horrible.
Different shows, different folks.
That is awful.
He's not lying.
Yeah. I don't know where to go from here. I guess that's it, folks.
Episode 17 had some interesting things. It was just really I guess like the basis of the episode was Kotamine figuring out exactly or pinpointing what was his actual desires, because Gilgamesh throughout his interactions with Kotamine has been probing him as to whether you don't actually feel this way, you don't actually want to do this for your father, you don't actually want to blah 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 blah. He's been the proverbial like devil in his ear, yapping at him, telling him what he should do. And Kotamine has finally like listened to his own desires instead of what his father wanted, instead of what his duty is as a like God-fearing man. And he kills his mentor. And I think he has it's just in this innate want to do bad that's within him. And it's as simple as that. And Gilgamesh finds him interesting because he's kind of struggling with he's this growing commodity. He's this being with potential that he doesn't know where he's going to go. And I think that interests Gilgamesh more so than somebody like Tokiyami, who's really just somebody he's probably seen before. I doubt this is Gilgamesh's first rodeo. So, Kotamine, a well-established mage who's doing whatever he can to accommodate Gilgamesh. That's something he's seen probably in his lifetime too, not even as a servant. So Kotamine is somebody that interests him because it's something different than the norm. So their relationship is interesting. Kotamine finding his ambition in life was the highlight of the theme of the episode. Yeah.
Say something about the devil.
Oh shit. Satan? Is that you?
Why, yes, it's been a long time. How have you been?
They turned you into a persona character?
Did they?
Yeah, I don't know what group, but yeah, yeah. I mean, you're pretty powerful in the game, to be fair.
Well, I mean, sorry to sip over EA's body. Yeah, I guess I won't have to sue them. I guess I'll just collect my payment.
Yeah,
and keep those checks rolling in.
You definitely deserve royalties for that.
Oh yes, and yes. As far as good old friend here, Tokiyami, it's a nice spot right here in hell.
Ah, okay.
Tokiyami.
Yeah, dude, was kind of putting him over the edge. He was on the cusp for a while there, but then when I saw Dave Bugs, I'm like, "You're coming home, Tokiyami."
Just hold on, coming home.
Well, Satan,
is he warm? Satan?
I'm still here. Y'all asked me a bunch of questions at the same time.
Well, is he warm? Is he?
I would say at least charbroiled.
Okay, pretty warm.
Damn. So, you got Lancer down there? How's he doing?
You want to do him like what was his name in Dragon Ball Z? Deborah? You want to do him like that?
Yeah. Well, Satan needs his beauty sleep.
That is true. You're beautiful.
Why? Thank you.
All things considered. Yes.
I am a gorgeous scaly demon.
Mm-hmm. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
Oh, I won't. And see.
Yes.
I'll be coming for you later.
Wait, why would I do?
Oh, don't worry. You'll find out soon enough.
Well, Satan,
all right. It's been fun.
thanks for coming,
all
Satan.
Right.
No worries.
George.
Later.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I like him.
Satan. The Satan slice. Yeah, you're back. What the hell? You missed it.
Why does my throat taste like sulfur?
Oh, you were taken over by Satan. That's what that was.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Well, I need a drink of water. Get this sulfur taste out of my mouth.
So, any final thoughts on this episode of Fate Zero?
Oh, so much sexual tension. We even had some sexual tension between Maya and Saber. Or not Saber. Iris. My bad. Iris and Maya. Which didn't last that long because then Maya ruined it by saying, I need you to die as fast as possible.
Why, thank you so much, Maya. I will.
Yeah. That's basically how that conversation went. And the whole thing of this, watching this in English dub kind of throws me off because I said this before, Maya's voice actress in English is the same voice actress as Satsuki Kiryuin. And if you could tell by my name, I'm a big fan of Satsuki Kiryuin. So
this is news to me.
Yeah.
Anytime she says anything, I'm just like, Satsuki, why would you say that?
Satsuki, you're a good sniper, but why would you say that?
Yeah. And she kind of talks in the, because they're like voice actress who play different roles where you might not even recognize them immediately because of their tone fluctuation, whatever it may be. But Maya is a character that's sort of adjacent to Satsuki in that they're both sort of stoic characters. So the same way she talks as Satsuki, she kind of talks as Maya. So it's kind of hard to differentiate the two, in my opinion.
Would you be surprised if Maya started calling people pigs in sheep's clothing or whatever she says?
No. You pigs in human clothing.
That's right.
Yeah. I could definitely see her saying that.
Damn.
Right after she has sex with Kuritsugu.
Probably on Irisville's cup.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing we didn't talk about. She's a cup.
Oh, yeah.
She's a vessel for the Holy Grail.
Yeah. So, EA, does this finally, all these years, me and Satsuki calling Iris a cup, does it finally make sense?
This is the first time I heard you ever call her a cup, but okay.
Fuck.
Sorry. Either that I just don't remember, but I mean when it comes to, I guess, Irisfield, and if she actually is a cup, you can refer to her and always say what cup size she is. She could literally just say 1.
It's true.
What cup size are you? Oh, Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's a good point. The one.
Yeah. And then whenever she gets shot in the head and all the blood runs out from her face, you could say her cup runneth over.
That's horrible. Poor Iris.
Thank you, I'll be here all night. Yeah, where's that fucking... There it is. Yeah, thank you, Joey.
Well, any other final thoughts on this episode?
Not really. It was quite shocking. A lot of shocking deaths these past 2 episodes. Like, wow.
In the herd.
Yeah. The third is being thinned, and I'm curious to see what happens next, because I think we're just about done with this.
Yeah, we're getting near
It's
the
incredible.
end.
Incredible.
Just
I
hold.
think Gen Orobuchi just has like a penchant for accidentally creating homosexual ships. Because there's so many. There's like Kotamine, Gilgamesh. They keep flirting. every time. Like it's the way they do it. It's like Gilgamesh is drinking wine. He's in this tightest shirt, V-neck, and he's like, "Oh, Kotamine, maybe you should possibly kill your master." And he's like, "Wow, I wonder if there's a servant that will serve me after I kill my master." He's like, "Well, maybe you should find out after we have a little relations in the bedroom." So then there's that. And then there's Saber and Irisville, which they didn't really get that much in these couple of episodes, but they had the hand holding scene when Iris is, of course, she's getting more sickly as the Holy Grail persists, and Saber grabs her hand. Well, no. We're not talking about Maya yet. We're not talking about Maya.
Oh, sorry.
But the Maya and Iris scene though, where Iris is, like almost about to just flat out become unconscious because of the Holy Grail persisting. She's leaning on Maya's shoulder. It's like, how many homosexual relationships are you going to have that don't bear any fruit? Why do you enjoy pleasure from this? It's like he only enjoys pleasure from bait. Because then, like the relationships that actually are established, we don't really even like. I don't think I've seen anybody go like, I love Saber and Kiritsugu, or I love Saul and Kenneth. I don't think anybody has ever said that.
Not me.
It's so funny, man. Gen Orobuchi, keep doing what you're doing, but just remember, you will always be an enemy to the LGBT community.
Not the Q part, though.
Okay.
Well,
we'll concede.
I guess it's time to go ahead and get into our next anime of choice. The character with only the most easily hateable characters.
Hey, Sasuke.
But Tensei, season 2, episode 5.
Hey, Sasuke.
I'm here.
Do you hate being right all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of right. A lot.
Yeah. As soon as she got there, she was... Well, okay. I'm going to say this before you get into it, Sasuke. They actually give this woman a reason to why she has sex with a bunch of people. It's because she's cursed. And if she doesn't have sex in a certain amount of time period, don't know how the fuck that works, she's gonna die.
EA.
Yeah. Yes.
When he says this, he says it the way he says that line that you're just talking about, that lore thing of her character. He's saying this as if he's unsure of it. So that's not a fact.
Shit.
He's saying that as the way he's saying it, he's saying that as that's how she explained it to him, as if that's an excuse for why she's doing it.
Oh, so she's lying.
Look at the episode. He says this in parentheses.
Okay.
He's saying this very sarcastically.
She's got the horny. Her curse is that she's horny.
Yeah, and she she is. That is true. And also, what is true is the fact that she is a pedo. She literally said, "I want to have sex with people your age." That was what she said, and that's what she did.
Yeah, we watched this on Discord a couple nights ago, and
also, how the fuck can he not know that she's gonna be having sex? Well, I'm just gonna walk in here. Oh,
I think he's
having sex again.
I think he does, because remember the last episode? You could hear it the entire time, and he was like, he was using it as a way to test if he could get it up.
I forgot that was the main point of this whole goddamn arc.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you were saying something. You guys were watching it in Discord.
Yeah, we were watching it in Discord, and Dan from Danataz Media, he he said, and I quote, as he when he walks in at the very beginning and sees Ellie Nalise, I don't know, doing whatever the hell she's doing. He goes, he's walking into orgy sessions.
It's true.
This
that was the first 5 minutes of the anime too.
And why? Why was that the first five? Why do we keep? This is my problem with the last episode. We understand she's a whore. You established that quite well. I don't have to see somebody killing a million people to understand they're a killer. I understand her character. If you're not going to add more to her character or establish why she is the way she is, why do I have to see this so much? That's my biggest problem with her character. Why the fuck am I seeing her on screen fucking 100 people when I know that's her MO?
Well,
it's not interesting.
The reason for that is because the audience light novels usually capture are the horny teenage demographic. Because the horny teenage demographic loves this kind of shit.
Very true.
I can't fight against that. I can't fight against horny people. I don't know what makes you get. I don't know what sizzles your bacon. I don't know what gets you bricked up.
Bacon.
But I can't understand why you would like this character because she's. I seriously can't understand it. I don't understand it. That's the only thing. She's so one-dimensional.
There's got to be something to her. That's the thing. And Anime Koala says there will be more to her later. There has to be something, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That justifies her character. And I agree with that cynicism, actually, EA, because for me it's like with this episode presented to us, it's like, oh, not only she's a whore, she's a pedo.
Yeah.
So many dimensions. What the
Yeah, and you know, she also has to decide on what to wear. It's like, I'll have the short skirt and the long stockings and da-da-da-da. I don't. Oh, and I guess not talking about her, but our favorite fucking otaku came back this episode.
Oh, dude, okay, so Ellie
the most annoying fucking
worthy, but holy shit, what was his name? Zenoba? Or
Sonova.
Yeah,
Sonova.
he was annoying. Like, he was screaming the whole time he was talking. Like, the way we're talking, that's totally fine. But with him, it was just master, puppets. No, I'm kidding. But he's just like yelling at the top of his lungs, and I don't know why this school gives me Harry Potter vibes, because it just kind of feels like that in a way. But also, every single student in this series or in the school is an asshole. I don't think I've met a single character other than Sylphie, aka Fritz. That's a good person, because everybody else is, I don't know, they just think that they're better than everyone else. Not a single likable character in this goddamn school.
Oh my god, and they introduced the dog and cat girl, and I immediately went, kill him. Immediately, because the cat girl is so every single fucking female in this series is so overly sexualized to the point where it becomes less of a turn on and more of a, do you have any shame? Does anyone in this world just like not think with their dicks?
I think this is a thing with the show. There are characters that are introduced to where, because they don't fit extremes in that they aren't like the worst ever that you ever seen or the nicest that you ever seen, that they're realistic because of that. Because a lot of Mushoku Tensei fans say that, you know, a lot of the characters are just like down to earth and more so, again, more realistic than other anime you'll see. But what I saw was everybody introduced in this episode were assholes. Everybody. How was that possible? The only one who wasn't an asshole was the established character that we already got before, was Sylphie, aka Fitz. That's it. Yep. Everybody else in this episode were, or I guess you could say Ariel too, because you didn't really get any dialogue with any other characters. But everybody assholes. Everybody. How's that possible? That doesn't make them realistic. It just means everybody's assholes. Let me look at the characters' names. Oh, I guess Genus wasn't an asshole because he was just a teacher. So we had Zenoba, who was just loud, obnoxious. We got Lenia, who is a bootleg Ghislaine. Beast woman, just rude in general. Persana, who was another beast woman who was just eating chickens like she was advertising for KFC. We got Cliff, who was basically Sasuke. He was edgy. Nobody understands me. Black hair. I'm gonna sit.
Yep.
Far
The black
away from
hair
everybody
thing.
else.
Yep.
Luke Grey Rat, cousin to Rudy. I'm just gonna be an asshole. You don't remember me? Oh, you should remember me, even though I never talked to you before. And then we got Goli Ade, the gorilla lady, who said, "Hey, Baka Hentai," and
Masira from One Piece.
Yeah.
Could that have been any more stupid? He just walks through, panties fly down, catches it, and these women, I don't know, they must have been waiting with bated breath for this guy to like fuck up the second he walked in, and then that was it. It was just, gotta get his ass.
It's like instead of like how we have fire extinguishers, right? Like break in case of a fire. There has to be like some bat thing right at their window that says break in case of pervert, or it's just there. As soon as they heard that panty thief, everybody.
Yeah.
Rudy, what are you doing?
And he already has a pair of underwear. Why does he need more? What is he gonna do with it? Worship that too?
This is my biggest problem with that section of the episode. They all came to the conclusion that Rudy stole Ariel's underwear.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck did they know it was Ariel's underwear?
Yeah, that's the kind of the creepiest part. Is like, does she wear a certain brand, and if so, does she show it to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Maybe she collects underwear or something, and I don't know. It's her hobby. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Hey guys, check out some of this underwear I bought.
Oh, that's so cute. Let me show you mine. It's black lace.
Very comfortable.
Oh
man. Before men came to this school, I guess they just walked around in their bra and panties. Like, that's the only thing I could think of. Then they had to like let guys in, and they're like, "Fuck, we got to put on our clothes."
That's kind of bad.
Yeah, you have, like, the guys have to take the other fork in the road, and they have to go around the detour 20 minutes or something. I don't know. It just doesn't make no sense. This is Hogwarts, except not as cool and lame.
Segregated dorms make sense. Segregated walkways,
yeah,
that's like a bigger implication of something else, which I'm not going to get into, but I don't know what we're doing there. I don't know if there's going to be a plot point or what, but yeah, that's a little odd.
What was the gorilla going to do?
Kill him?
I mean, really? I mean, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, so you got him. Yeah, what's going to happen to him? He will get stoned to death. For taking some panties? And also, how did you... I don't know, it's just really ridiculous.
Yeah, the show's pretty in every aspect besides the character and some of the writing now. I mean, it's been very consistent this season, where it's like, we've had like one or two decent moments, but everyone has either been assholes, everything is either not just taken shape, or I just don't like any of the characters that they introduce, like, at all. Like, or they start off like strong with a character, like maybe Sarah, and they fucking make her an asshole. So it feels like the author is very ham-fistingly making everyone an asshole to make Rudy seem like the good guy, but he's not subtle enough with it. and and the story they're trying to tell is actually it's weird, like trying to cure Rudy's ED. It shouldn't be the main plot, but like if
the main plot.
Yeah, it's a side. It should be a side plot or something.
Hold on, I want to defend Rudy in this way. I would never jump to defend Rudy, but I actually think him wanting to heal his ED is like it's comical. Of course, we all laugh at it, but it's something that I think if we were dealing with, it's something that would be on our mind 24/7.
Yeah,
that we couldn't get it up.
Absolutely.
In situations in which we're all expected to be horny or whatnot. Yeah. So I'm not actually mad that this is his like focus for the matter. It's just that I don't think that the series takes it serious as I do, because I actually do think it's serious to some degree. But
it is, yeah.
In this episode, it's kind of treated as like he's like, oh, I don't want anybody to know that I'm searching about how to cure my ED. It's treated more in a comedic light than it should be. If it was more in a serious tone, I think it would come off a lot better. But they kind of treat it as comedy while also trying to eat his cake too by making it a serious event. So it's a weird dichotomy between those two things. But yeah, it's I don't really understand what they're going for.
Yeah, it feels like it's missing something. I think what they should have done is, instead of an ED, they played up as a joke too, and it's like, well, so is the main plot a joke?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I definitely agree with both of you. It's like you can make it a serious thing, ED. You know, as a guy, we all, you know, if that were to happen to us, that would be one of those things where we would absolutely have a heart with, you know, for the guy. It's like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. But yeah, I agree. For some reason, they're treating it as if, you know, it's just a joke, and we're going to have this literal drawing of a floppy penis in the wind, and it's just that's what this second season is a floppy dick blowing in the wind. That's literally how I can describe the second season. And like, if they made it the whole trust thing, getting friends, getting over Eris, that would have been so much better. They even mentioned Eris in this episode, and you see it in his face, where he was just like, "What did you see her? What happened? You know, where's Eris?" But again, we have to get introduced to Sasuke Light. We have to get introduced to the furry girls. We have to get a gorilla pounding the shit out of them. You know, we gotta do all that stuff instead of tackling what could be a serious discussion. And again, I understand that's the whole series. They kind of have this whole goofy perviness to it, but also having awesome world building with great animation and some really kick-ass moments. But there's just something about this season where it just feels like it's just very... It doesn't know what it wants to be. I feel like it like you said, it's missing something, and we even see that he was reunited with Sylphie, and well, he doesn't know that it's Sylphie, but you know, we don't even care. You know, it's just like, do we care that they ever get to know each other again, or that he'll discover that's her? No, I don't.
Well, actually, I'll say this: Rudy, and later in this season, is getting recast as well.
Really?
So, yeah,
the voice.
We're getting a new VA for Rudy later on.
Okay.
The Japanese one?
Yes, for both of them.
What happened?
It's nothing bad. It pertains to this.
Oh, I was about to say, did someone have a PC full of something again?
I guess it's best not to inquire about it.
I guess not.
I kind of want to read what other people have said. I want to say Decrepit Storm is funny as hell. They haven't invented shame in this world yet. I didn't think Cliff would tell him about Eris that quickly. Mushoku Tensei generally has a very base level character before developing them later. I do think that hurts them later. I think Fruits Basket used to do that too, where they would give you like a character archetype before like actually making them a well fleshed out character. But I think the difference was with Fruits Basket, they would give you enough to entice you to want to find out more about these characters. In general, I just like for Elianice, whatever the fuck. I don't care anymore. Even if you gave me more about her character, I don't think I would actually care to sit there. I think if you gave me more about a character at this point where I am, I would probably groan and go, "Why are we focusing on this character?" I think you have to like do enough for me to even be intrigued with that. You know what I mean? You can't not give me anything about her character and then later go, well, hey, we got something. If you're interested, it doesn't really work like that. A Sony C47 said Renoa university students dislike most of the special students because they have special treatment, something like getting a scholarship for just being there. That makes sense. I don't think the anime did a good job of conveying that, but I think it just makes sense on a logical perspective. Like you dislike somebody who has special privileges because you don't have those same things. That makes sense. Anime Koala said the anime messed up Sarah. The thing about the ED is that it isn't just ED. It's also his general mental state as well, especially for someone like Rudy. This would break him. I think we can all understand that. We're all men here.
Yeah,
we understand how that will affect us.
absolutely.
So that's why that's the thing about it. Our like opposition with how things are being presented in the anime is more so a like fight against the tone of the series conveying that in the comedic. Like I it is a funny thing. Don't get me wrong. It is a funny thing. But at some point it stops being funny.
Yeah.
We understand how that would affect us mentally. Not saying that we have experienced this ourselves, but we could empathize with somebody who was experiencing that, and we're kind of rejecting the idea that this should be treated in a comedic light 24/7. I think that's our main problem with it. This is like the third time Sasuke has defended Rudy. What is happening? Oh my god. I disagree. The author did write the novel expressing not just Rudy POV, but explore other characters' intent behind their actions. It's the animated and adapted well. Well, in this sense, we're just talking about anime, not what the light novel or any other medium is expressing.
Mm-hmm.
The Decrepit Storm said it was like a roundabout justice for all the stuff Rudy has done with panties. Anime Koala says, I would suggest checking out the light novel. As a light novel reader, some stuff does feel off when watching it in an anime. Thank God, finally.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot, though.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good thing. Especially if you're anime only, it should convey the message.
A lot of the light novel readers have actually been having beef with anime. Because he'll be older. Rudy is growing up, so the VA has changed. I never felt like Mushoku Tensei characters, and I've read all the light novels. The anime has already kind of cut back on some characters. There should already be a bit more for her by now, so that is unfortunate. And many times it doesn't feel like the author has a plan for the characters and or the story. I've just been listening to reviewers that fill in the gaps of what's missing from the light novel, so I've been getting what's been going on thanks to the objective reviewers. So yeah, I guess in totality, what I want to say to everybody is that when we're talking about Mushoku Tensei, we're talking from the perspective of anime onlys that have no extra context when it comes to light novels, manga, whatever medium you want to throw out, manhwa, web novels, whatever. We're talking about anime only.
Mhm.
That gives us a narrow perspective on the characters and other story elements that exist outside of the anime. We don't have that perspective. So when we're talking about these characters, we're not saying these are how, we're not giving like this objective view of this is how Rudy is, this is how the story is. We're talking about this how the anime is, and even in that sense, it's how the anime is to us. So it's not, you know what I mean? Don't take this as like we're talking about the story in totality. We're talking about Mushoku Tensei, the anime. So I just want to specify that so you guys don't really say like we're ragging on the story. It's really just the anime as we perceive it.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I will say as well, it's good to note that, because I did a video on this a couple of years ago when the season 1 was airing. The manga also as well adapts the story totally differently. It's like changes entire plot points, goes off into different directions. Like, it's basically, for all intents and purposes, a totally different story. So this is not something that I've this complaint that the adaptation is not doing the original justice is not new to this series, and it's not something that is new to criticism from fans. This seems to be a trend with this franchise in general.
Which, if anybody has experienced the whole light novel to anime adaptation thing, this is something that has happened with a lot of anime. This has happened with Higurashi. This happened with Steins Gate. This happened with Fate. Any of the iterations of Fate that you've seen. So it's not the first thing, the first time that this has happened. I think it's very rare that a light novel gets an adaptation that is accurate to the source material. It's just light novels are novels; they're books with maybe 10 pictures in a volume or whatever. So there's going to be a lot of information that's cut because anime is more of a visual medium than it is like informative medium. It's not going to be so much text on the screen that you're just reading. So therefore, there's a lot of lost things that comes to the characters, like monologue and things like that has to be told through a visual perspective. So in general, there's going to be a lot of things lost in transition. So the same thing is going to happen with Mushoku Tensei. Again, so I don't want people to believe that we are trying to, or we're just not getting the picture when it comes to these characters. We're just talking about the characters as we see them on screen. We're not. I actually have somebody besides me. Hey, girl. I know you see me. I actually have somebody right here next to me that's just. I literally parrot what she says. So hey, you're not off the clock yet. So she's going to tell me what you guys are saying. I actually don't know what the fuck y'all saying, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Any final thoughts on this episode of Mushoku Tensei as it is?
Yeah, I'm done.
There was we're only on episode 5. You can't be done yet.
I mean, I am though. This broke me.
Did it break your dick?
It didn't break my dick. No, it didn't break my dick. It broke. If anything, it just broke my spirit. And I don't give a fuck about Rudy anymore.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think this season has helped me come to the realization I don't think I ever cared about Rudy. I think what I care about most in this series is how good it looks just none of the I love everything but the characters. That's about it. I just hate the characters. There's like zero characters I like. Even if I like them, which is already rare enough for me personally speaking, even the ones I do like don't have any memorability. Like they have memorability, especially relative to this series, but nothing that really like none of these characters are ever going to appear in my top 50 list of anything. Maybe not even top 100, let alone a top 10 or a top 5, you know? And that's not to say that I think the characters, the ideas behind these characters are horrible, or that we shouldn't be exploring their stories. I think it's good that they're giving it a shot, but it just I don't know. Something with it is not connecting with me, and it's just the characters. Like this series is literally, technically speaking, if we're not taking characters into account, for me, this is like a 10 out of 10, you know? It should be, because the production is amazing, the voice acting is amazing, the production just amazing. And you can tell that the writers, even though it may not be exactly what I want, they put in a lot of work, and so does everyone else on the staff, clearly. Clearly this show is a passion project for whoever is working on it. But I think what I realized is that I like season 1 quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. But so far, season 2, it hasn't hit yet. And we're kind of getting to that deadline where it's like, we only got like I know, like, since this is 2 cores, it got to be fair. We'll say like episode 7 or 8, right? Like, is by that time we should be invested in this and really know what's happening here. But it feels like we're on episode 5, and I hate the series now. Well, I don't want to say I hate the series. I just find everything in this season annoying, or I just groan. Like I watch this in my server every week, and this episode, you can ask the people that are in there. I think Carp may still be in here. Carp knows. Like, I was groaning the entire time. Anytime
as long as you weren't moaning.
Oh, I was not. Oh, believe me. Every time there was a cut to a new scene and they would introduce a character, I just go, I'm so frustrated. And even the Sylphie stuff for me this episode didn't quite hit. Just because, like, I don't want to see Rufy be Rufy. Did I just
It's Rufy.
I'm having
Hello, Rufy.
a stroke. I don't want to see Sylphie. I don't want to see Sylphie
Just have some magical effect that we aren't privy to. I don't know if the
could be
light, because we it seems like we have some light novel readers in here. Light novel readers, tell me,
if they're not
is there
already
something?
gone.
Yeah, if you guys don't already
They
hate our
left
guts,
after what I said.
if you guys don't already hate our guts, is there something more to the glasses that we don't know? Because to me, that's the impression I always got with the glasses, that they hid Sylphie's identity more than what it showed or conveyed with the anime. So let us know if that's true or not. Let me know if I'm full of shit or whatever.
But yeah, I don't want to see that story as it is presented. There's something about it where it's kind of like the whole Casca in Berserk thing, not getting her memories back until like 20 years later. Like, it's just it feels frustrating. And I don't want to see them. Now, I could be eating dirt by the next episode. It could, turn into something really interesting. But yeah, there's something about it right now as it's presented that's not as good as I thought it would be. And I think we'll wait and see on that one. I think I should be fair with that. But
Thank you, Benny.
But I mean, Light Ruler actually brings up something that I think is interesting. Is Rudy starting to like femboys because of Fritz? Joking aside, that was a really cool moment in the episode, at the very least, where Rudy has this interaction with Sylphie, and he comes away from it like blushing and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like that's what I want to see. I want to see, not necessarily like him getting all flustered.
You want to see him get it on with femboys?
Well,
I mean,
I think it's something to be said about that, because maybe this could be the cure to his ED that he's looking for. And
hey, there you go.
He keeps trying to find. We already seen it. He's went to a brothel in which he's trying to find sex as an outlet for his erectile dysfunction, when we know it to be something more mental when it came to his abandonment with Eris. And maybe that could be rectified with him finding solace with somebody emotionally. So that could be a thing with Sylphie. Who knows? We don't know. But
that's what I like.
Possibility.
That's what I want. That's like, I would be gushing over this series and Rudy as a character, no matter how annoying his antics could be, because I could go, at the end of the day, I could hang my hat on Rudy exploring this. And the fact that they teased it here, I hope to God we see more of this. Because I need something where I can hang my hat on for this show right now. And it's rough for me, because, as a big defender of season 1, I wouldn't say a big defender. I just thought season 1, it had a lot of strengths to it that I appreciated. And season 2, it just doesn't have that for me. And I'm waiting for that. Like, I'm waiting, because, like, by this point, we already had, like, in season 1, we already had the turning point, and everyone was teleported, which was crazy, So, by this same point in this season, I don't know. I'm just waiting, and to be fair, it could be very well be next couple episodes that we see that, and I could be once again eating my words, because I do want to be fair. This is
according to Anime Koala, the glasses don't mean anything. So there you go.
No, they do mean something. That means she's got style. Okay.
She looks like Brett the Hitman Hart. That's all she looks like.
Well, I was wrong about that.
I thought Vintage.
My boy Vash.
Greetings. Yeah, greetings and salutations. How you doing,
Vash?
Vash the Stampede.
See, I thought the glasses were kind of like akin to, C would kind of understand what I'm saying with Ray Sero, where it was like Amelia's cloak that she gave to Subaru. I thought it was something like that, where the anime didn't really give a good explanation of it, but you kind of understand it well in the light novel. So I thought the glasses would have that same effect. But
maybe
it seems like it's there for aesthetic. Yeah.
What about a PP?
Detachable PP. Sylphie has detachable PP.
Lego dicks.
Yeah. Never had. You don't have one of those, EA?
On that note, I'm done talking about this show.
All right.
Because no, I don't have one of those. I have a detachable thumb, though.
Oh my god! No.
We killed Satsuki. I'm sorry.
He's dead. Well, guess it's time to move on to our next show.
Where's his assistant? His assistant should wake him up.
Yeah, where the fuck's she at?
Oh my god, Satsuki.
You're back! You're alive!
Where are your glasses? You became a different person without them. Oh, he's gonna put them on. He's gonna become Satsuki. Put them on! Do it. You have to do it.
You can't
Oh.
see otherwise. You'll be blind.
I want to say you'll be like Fitz or Sylphie.
Fitzgerald.
Satsuki. Look at. Can you see?
I can see. Can see everything.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Taco Bell. 3 p.m. It's the standard time. See tactics. Burger King. 5 p.m. It's the standard time.
Whopper, grooming minors, Whopper.
Can see everything. Sins. Past. History. Everything.
I think he's become a different person. Help!
Is this the
Help.
beginning to an episode of Ripley's Believe It or Not?
This is more like Black Mirror. What is this?
Oh,
Next is
by the way, have you watched the latest season of Black Mirror?
I have not. I haven't
Watch
gone
it.
around to it.
Watch it with me.
Okay.
Okay. We'll make a date this weekend if you can. Watch it.
All
with
right.
me. All right.
Watch it on your Twitter. Self promote.
I don't know about that site, but we can watch in the Discord. I watched it on Discord with some of my buddies that had never even watched Black Mirror, so we could watch it together on a legal site, of course.
Here we go. Legal sites. Black Mirror party at Satsuki's house.
Kenshin, episode 5. What did you guys think about it?
Pretty standard, really. I mean, it was more of a backstory for the bad man, aka Zanza, aka Sagura. Sanosuke Sagura. And it was just interesting just to see the little talk back and forth. But to be honest, it was okay, I guess. It wasn't anything memorable. Like if this was one of those episodes or chapters in the manga, I feel like it would just be one of those, okay, that was something that happened. We got introduced to a new character, on to the next chapter. Like it wasn't the fight was decent, but other than that, it was just alright. That's my opinion about it.
Yeah. I felt like this episode was just trying to establish Sanosuke as a character and like what he's all about. We've seen his opposition he had towards Kenshin because of him being an imperialist in the past. And this was just giving reason to why he thought that in the first place, because he was a revolutionary. The army he was a part of or he was traveling with died because of the imperialists basically pinning their policies on them and making them take the blame for it, and them beheading Sosuke's a person he respected so much so that he took on his surname, which was Sagura. And that was really the big point of the episode, just establishing what like the roots of Sosuke hating the imperialist and everything. And I guess him also to gaining respect for Kenshin, because Kenshin is a person who is striving to atone for that life rather than persist that life. So for him, it's just like, I was that way in the past. I oppressed people, but I'm trying my best now, currently, to do whatever I can to I guess erase my crimes. And he saw that for what it really was, respected him, and changed his whole tune to the point to where he said, I'm not Sansa anymore. I'm not the mercenary that takes on contracts or whatever. I'm Sosuke or Sanosuke. Which is his original name. That was the really big point of the episode. Everything else that really happened, like the brothers taking out their guns and foolishly shooting Kenshin, and that doesn't really matter. It was really all about Sanosuke, Kenshin. Yeah. Oh, and Kaoru being useless.
Yeah, Mate.
I was sad.
She just kind of like was crouching in the corner, going. Doing a Kobeni scream.
Decrepit Storm says, I don't know if I can take seriously someone who has bad written on their back.
Hey. We all like Metal Bat from One Punch Man, right?
Yeah, and also didn't Michael Jackson wear it in a music video?
I'm bad.
I'm bad. You know it. Come on.
Man. Grab a Storm. What are you really saying? Who are you really?
I think he's one of those dirty imperialists. That's what I think.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Decrepit. Thanks for the $1. Which, by the way, if you have not yet and you're still listening now, please subscribe to the Patreon. We would greatly appreciate it in the chat now.
Yeah, I'll even give you my signature heart gesture pose that I only show for our Patreons. I won't do it now because you aren't a Patreon.
And I'll just kind of be there. Maybe I'll shave.
You want to see that?
Damn.
I seen it, and I was very. Let's say I wasn't like Rudy.
I mean, Kenshin is. I'm just waiting for the second and third arc. That's what I'm most interested in. I'm not interested in this stuff. I've already seen this stuff before. This is really. I hate to say it, but they really. I don't know. Maybe he was looking at too much, CP and instead of doing his show, because he could have actually put some effort in here.
Don't say it that way.
It's like
he's like, could have added more to this story, but this computer.
Oh my god!
I can't help but duck on the guy. He's such an asshole. But yeah. he could have. I don't know. Made this part go by quicker, better, and more importantly, just rewrote it. Like, think about Demon Slayer. You know how Demon Slayer did this? They did it in like 8 episodes, and they had everybody together. By that time they were fighting a bunch of dudes already. And
did one of them have bad on their back?
Well, Zenitsu didn't have it on his back, but
he was just bad.
He was just bad, yeah. Poor guy. But I like all these characters and stuff, but like I'm just waiting for the actual good stuff. Not that this stuff isn't good, it's just outdated, and I've already seen it, and yeah, I'm just, when I watch this episode, this episode and the previous episodes, it's one of those things where I'm just like, alright, cool. But I still can't help but feel like he could have done something here, besides just, like, not changing this part up, because this is the part that, I'm not going to say nobody likes, but this is the part that really needs it the most. And it's just a missed opportunity is all I'm saying. So, I don't know. Like, yeah, like as EA was saying, Kaoru was just, like, hiding in a corner. It's like...
Doesn't she know how to fight?
That was my problem with it.
It's just, it's such an old, tired trope. It's like... I don't know. As I said that last week, I feel like they should do something more with the fights too, because this with Zanza and stuff was really basic. Like straight up, it just looked like 90s animation in HD. Like there was like
yeah.
they didn't even animate certain parts of the actual animation. They just like skipped. There's a like when he chops his blade. Like they skipped like a whole bunch of fluid animation there they could have done. And this is Liden Films, by the way. They absolutely can do something like this. Sure, they did Berserk 2016, but you know what? We all make mistakes.
They did. They also did Hanabado, which is what the fuck?
Wow, that animation was way better than it should have been, to be honest.
They also did the most recent Blade of the Immortal.
Which is also what the fuck?
I feel like there's something to be said that I feel like Liden Films has gotten the shaft. And
bring on Shaft. That's what you're saying.
You know, Shaft doing this would be pretty awesome. But
you damn right.
But I don't know. I just my whole feelings is that this is fine. It's just I feel like we have a missed opportunity here. We could do something cool, something unique, something different, because we've done this before. And I think the original 90s anime probably did it better because they had a lot of really good filler that a lot of people enjoyed that they ended up cutting out. That just isn't here. So I don't know. Just a little disappointed is all.
Yeah. Could definitely see what you're saying. I haven't watched the other iterations of Kenshin to say
great opening. Amazing opening. At least the first one.
I don't have any context to compare it to anything else, but it definitely feels like this episode it's nothing wrong with it, you know. This episode was all right for the most part, but it definitely feels like I think what you said was very accurate to the overall show in general. It feels like an old show that just has recent updated and not animation necessarily, because the animation even wasn't that updated. It's an updated like look to it, you know, updated art, you know, where the characters have bigger eyes and a less mature style to it, you know. Like it doesn't feel like it's new in a sense that you would think new means that it's going to just look more polished in terms of the animation. Even though there are some old animated things that look great still.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Bebop being one of the big examples.
Trigun. I like Trigun. It may not be perfect, but still it's very nostalgic.
It's more so I'm just with the animation with Trigun, there's some scenes where I'm like, yeah, but overall I think it still fits in that 90s category. But yeah, with this show, it's just not even just that. Some of the tropes too. Like I talked about Kaoru and her just being a fighter, but then becoming a damsel in distress in you know in this episode. And it's like, what? Last episode I seen you fend off against guys, even though you weren't the main guy or the main person to fight back against them. You actually held your own. In this episode, you literally do nothing. Yahiko is the one protecting you, and then not even Sonosuke is the guy who's actually protecting you when it's all said and done. I'm like, how are you supposed to be the person that's teaching Yahiko anything when you're not necessarily cowering, but you have a scene where you're saying, I can't move. What the well, what is Yahiko supposed to learn from you exactly? You know what I mean? It's that outdated type of just the best way I can describe it is sexism. That's how it was back in the day. I mean, it's still a lot of stuff that persists to this day with that, but Yeah, it definitely feels like an outdated story with revamped with a revamped look.
Yeah. And that's not to say that there can't be damsels in distress. It's just that when you establish this character as someone that can fight, then just reverts back to being not a fighter all of a sudden, that's definitely one of those, okay, is she a fighter or is she not? Pick one or the other. You can't have it, but, well, it's because the guy's the size of a building. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
You would think that the anime would take an opportunity to show the growth between how she was then in the first episode to how she is now.
Yeah.
There was none of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, any final thoughts on Kenshin episode 5? I felt it was pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty much. All I know is, hold on, I was about to call him Zanza. Sanosuke, he doesn't pay for things.
Yeah, he's a villain. He's actually the main villain.
He's the main. He's super strong, and yet he doesn't pay for anything. He just eats a bunch of gyoza and just says, "I fought them. I saved your guys' life." Later, and then just leaves.
The first time I forgave him because he did save the waitress' life, or I'll just say he saved her from bodily harm. But this episode, I don't know if there was that threat. I mean, it was the same drunken guys there, but it seems like he's definitely using the confusion in those opportunities to just go like, yeah, I'm not going to pay. So, yeah, he's still a villain.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the main event of the evening. JJK Season 2, Episode 5.
My God.
What did you guys think about this one? This is a pretty good one.
So, it looks like when it comes to what turned Ghetto into a villain, just a blonde-haired girl. No, I'm kidding. But no, but she did give the idea into his head, though.
Yeah.
She put it there. Yeah. She put it there. Ultimately, he was his own person that did the downfall and everything. Like this whole, I guess like event, because I guess a year passed since that whole incident happened, and it's just really bothered him. He's and now he has a crazy idea of literally creating a world where there's nothing but sorcerers, but we're going to kill all non-sorcerers because reasons. And yes, Satsuki, I'm reading your notes. Ghetto is racist now.
You monkeys must bend by my will.
I'm like, whoa, ho, there.
When did you get that in your vocabulary?
Oh man, but yeah, it's definitely a perfect setup for the next arc that's coming up, because at the very, 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 very end, we see everything in present time now. So with the main cast of
the main trio.
The main trio, which I was happy to see them, but I don't know. Something tells me I'm not going to be so happy with this arc because of just everybody that's saying, "Oh, wait till you get to this arc. Oh, wait till you get." So I'm like, something's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And we have till the end of August until they come back now. So, Satsuki, you have time to watch Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
I already watched it.
Oh, you watched it?
Never mind.
I've read it a long time ago and I watched it recently, last week. All
right. Well, now we're going to be bored till the end of the month.
I love this episode. Just because I was able, at least I tried to understand really why Geto did what he did. And it all
The
started.
boobs.
It is the boobs, yeah. It all started, I think, with the successful assassination of Rico, and then just from there, just everything continued to just pile on for both Gojo, Geto. Both of them suffered, I think, equally, but I think in different ways. And I think Geto took the brunt of that, and he deteriorated mentally, just because he was isolated from everyone. He didn't have Gojo or Shoko with him, really, Riko's death and Misato's death split up that trio, and it's really interesting how that trio kind of mirrors the trio of modern, JJK as well. But also him being destroyed by Toji, not good. That also didn't help at all. Him seeing like Gojo at the religious society with Riko's dead body as everyone around him clapped, the sound of which was just repeated over and over. That's all he could hear in his head was just that sound.
That was good directing. I like
Yeah.
that.
And you can see the moment that he breaks. It's not really his talk with Yuko Sumiko that breaks him. I think it's that scene where he's in the shower and he hears the clapping, and because I think it's that moment that he snaps. I think no matter what anyone said, he would have decided to do this anyways. And he really snapped in a major way, because he killed 112 villagers. He killed his own parents. And this episode is also where we figure out, or where we learn his origins of getting those twins that we saw in JJK 0 and in season 1. So this was kind of his villain origin story moment, and I think what a way to do it. I think when it comes to JJK villains, I think he's the best one. I think Mahito doesn't even hold a fucking candle, because Mahito is pure evil. Geto has a lot of layers to him. There's a reason he's going through with this, and it's just, I don't know, it's really compelling. So I wouldn't say like well, what's funny actually is that we now have two very popular series.
That's
right now.
what you do.
I fell. Fell from grace like Geto.
But yeah, we now have two popular series where the main villain is trying to commit genocide. So maybe it's a trend.
See, what do you about it? What do you feel about people who haven't watched Fate Zero? I
Kill
feel
them
like
all.
there would be I feel like it would be a better world without them.
Oh
Non-Fate Zero fans. We
It's a bit
kill all of
extreme,
them.
don't you think?
We must only live in a world with people who love Fate Zero.
Yeah.
I disagree.
On which point?
All of it.
You mean even the genocide part?
Especially the genocide part.
That's not
Like
the best part.
No, that's the worst part.
Oh.
The huge emphasis of the genocide is the part that shouldn't be emphasized.
Also, we have in this episode, it's confirmed that the Star Plasma vessel has reappeared in a newborn baby. So immediately when she died, the new one was born.
Meh. So, no real point in Rico, I guess.
Yeah, she was just there to die, pretty much. That's her whole character. I cry.
Well,
So sad.
as far as this ghetto stuff goes, well, no, I want to talk about it because this has been a point of discussion. As I was reading JJK, because if you guys don't know, I'm already caught up to the manga. Like, so I know things. I won't like pretend like I don't. I know things. when it came to this point in the manga, I had my opinions on Yuki that people disagreed with. Because I don't like the Yuki. And my main reason for not liking Yuki is that she instilled this idea into Geto that I think could have been nipped in the bud had she had chosen her words more carefully. That's not to say that Geto wasn't going to be who he was at the end of the day, because you can't have this, you can't follow through with this extremist ideology without having your own convictions for doing so. But at the end of the day, Geto at the point that Yuki talked to him, he was wavering on what he should do. Should I follow follow what I've been doing as a sorcerer and save people for the sake of saving people, or should I follow this new idea that's been brought to my mind? Partly because of what you said directly, that
because of you.
Because of you, I wanted to eliminate all the curses by killing all non-Jujutsu sorcerers.
Wow.
And the way she says it too is so. The reason why it pisses me off so much, I made so many jokes in my server about it. She says what she says, and then just leaves on her motorcycle. That's what makes me so mad about it. She said she goes like, Geto goes like, I wonder what will happen if I kill every human. And then Yuki goes, damn, that's not a bad idea. I wouldn't do it myself, but damn. Okay, Geto. Okay. Oh, I forgot to ask on what his type. Well, I'm out of here. Huh? What the?
Also, is Yuki related to Tendo or something?
No.
Because they both say the same thing about asking what kind of female you like.
Wait, who did you say?
Oh, sorry.
Tengo?
My best
Tengo?
My best friend.
Tengo. No. Toji,
fudge.
No. If you
I
remember
suck.
Toji's backstory, he got that from Yuki.
Okay, so that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Another interesting thing about Yuki, as far as how it is in the story right now, Yuki is one of the 4 special grade sorcerers that we know in the story. That being herself, Gojo, Yuta, and Geto. So keep that in mind. She's pretty strong.
So this is all her fault.
This is the thing. Even me saying what I said, it's not all her fault, but I think she has some responsibility in
She definitely
Geto
does.
becoming who he was. That's such an irresponsible thing to say to somebody that you never met. You don't know where they're standing, and you know what I'm saying? That's my biggest problem with it. You never met this person. Why are you saying this?
And also, he looks the way he does with the bags under the eyes, and he's just like, do you think it would be a good idea? Kill all these people. Like, he just looks like a gremlin. And at that point, you're like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You could. You could.
Yeah, you know what? Here's a gun. Here's some ammo. Here's all that stuff for you. If you need anything, call me in the morning. I'll be here. I got you.
Oh my god.
Also, what kind of type of girl do you... Oh, shit. Forgot to ask.
Yeah. What type of... Oh,
why did
he's gone.
Yeah, that was the most important thing of the conversation. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Does he like blondes? I don't think we care about that lady. He's about to commit genocide. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, they also killed poor Haibara. He's also basically another Rico Amanai, where he was just introduced one episode. Hi guys, I'm pure. Oh, golly, I just want to help everyone. Wouldn't it be weird if...
Yeah, this is basically his character. He doesn't have any importance to the story other than dying.
You know, in the opening, they showed this shot of Shoko like messing with a sleeping Haibara, which I think is foreshadowing because Shoko, is the morgue lady. So.
Yeah, messing with the dead bodies now. I'll never forget the scene of Shoko looking at Yuji when he comes back after his death and looking at. I noticed she wasn't looking at this, but the way the anime frames it, it looks like she's looking at his penis and she says, "How disappointing." She says how disappointed because he comes back to life because she wants to inspect his body because he's like this vessel for Sukuna. But the way the anime frames it, it looks like she's looking at his dick and she goes,
Disappointing.
She used to be, man, when she was younger, she was much more easier to be around, I think. It's like, there's that
She
moment
smoked when she was still in high school.
Yeah, she's weird.
And the people around her were like, "Is that a high schooler?"
Oh well.
I just love that scene where Geto goes to meet her and just talking to him and just talking to him, pull out the phone. Oh, hey Gojo, yeah, he's here. Like what?
Yeah, it's funny.
She's so weird.
Yeah, and just how nonchalantly it's like, is it true? Yeah, I killed everybody. Oh, Gojo, come get this man.
that scene, regardless of how it fits in the story, it's so funny to me. Yeah, she just immediately assesses, yeah, I'm not strong enough to beat this guy. Gojo, come over here, please.
And then Gojo couldn't do it. He couldn't come to terms to kill someone who he felt was his friend. And that in itself is a hard question to ask. Like, if you had somebody that you considered your friend for a long time said that they were going to do something this ridiculous and like insane, could you kill them? I mean, there's of course part of you would be like yes, but then the other part of you is like, maybe they could change. Maybe they can go. I mean, this person killed his own parents. I don't think they're going to change after that. I think they're far from saving when you kill your own family. That's one of those. Call 911. I know you're my friend and everything, but you're going to jail.
Fashion in the chat says younger Shoko was hilarious. You just finished this. Whoosh and the foosh. Don't you get it, idiot? Had me on the floor. Yeah, horrible teacher. Her trying to teach the reverse curse technique. Yeah, Shoko's a pretty funny character. I mean, they're all funny characters, and if you think about it, even Geto's funny. I don't know what it is, but him calling everybody monkeys is hilarious to me. Probably because he just. It's the way it comes to be about. He's like in a shower, whatever. He's looking sexy for all the fangirls. Shirt off, hair down, and he just goes. You see the booty, and you think he's thinking about all the non-Jujutsu sorcerers. He just goes. He's just like non-Jujutsu sorcerers. Monkeys. There's like a stark there's a stark contrast between how he feels about them before and how he feels about them now. He's just like, yeah, they're monkeys. there's no gradual build up. He's just like, they all fucking suck.
Yeah. It's like, some of them might be good, some of them no, all of them. Every last one of them. Including the babies. The cute babies are the ones I want to punch right in the face.
Oh my god.
Punch their heads off. It was fun.
Turn that into a game. Call it, that game. What's that? What's that thing called where people go pull and then they shoot the thing in the air? I think it's called skeet ball. I don't know. I'm mistaken. Anyway, you do that with a baby's head. Punch a baby's head off. Pull.
Oh my god.
Might be fun.
Could be. But yeah, also at the very
I say
end,
skee ball. Skee ball is the thing in the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Just do that with a baby's head. I'm awful. I'm sorry.
At the end, though, Gojo he buys Megumi, or Megumi, and I love his reaction because he's like remember your father? He's like, whatever, and then Megumi's like, I don't even remember him. I don't even care. And it's like this. The trope usually is like, the Sasuke type. It's like, my dad. I can't. I have such father issues. But Megumi's like, nah, whatever. I don't give a shit, old man. I love Gojo's face. Just, what?
That whole scene just felt like Gojo trying to flex on Megumi by saying he killed his father.
Yeah, it did seem like that. But Megumi is just like, I don't care about my dad. I haven't talked to him in years. Also, he could be dead for all I care, but if he is, tell me now so I can just move on with my life.
Yeah. Megumi's whole point in the whole thing in there was to show you that Gojo kept his word about, not really his word because he didn't promise to do it, but before Tojo died, he told him about his son or whatever. So Gojo followed up on that. Maybe because he felt responsible about how Geto turned out. So maybe he felt that he had to kind of tie some loose ends when it came to Megumi. But as far as like Megumi's perspective on it, all he cared about in that scene was like how his sister felt, like how does this benefit my sister? That's all he cared about. And that's kind of like what led him into becoming a sorcerer in the first place. Like, oh, being a part of the Zany family won't help my sister? Well, I'll just, I'll follow Gojo.
Zenin family, bunch of assholes. They're the real monkeys. We need to eliminate them. We need to genocide all the Zenins.
They're basically like from a Tensei, the school. It's just nothing but assholes.
Yeah. My God, there's some stuff that happens later on that there's certain people that say something to another certain Zenin, and you're just like, eliminate them now, destroy them. How dare you? Just how dare. So any other thoughts on this episode?
Pretty good. We gotta wait a long time before more Jujutsu Kaisen, so I'm hyped.
I feel like this is one of the first few episodes where there's going to be some episodes down the line, but for all the people that go like, oh, you don't need to watch Zero. I don't know if there's people that actually exist like that, but for anybody that may say that you don't need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Zero to watch further stuff, that's sort of true. But to get the whole picture with Geto, to kind of see how his character concluded, you had to watch Zero. This was probably the most important episode thus far that is an example of that, because you wouldn't understand how his character ended, or Gojo not killing him then. You wouldn't understand like what happened to Geto later down the line if you didn't watch Zero. So very important to the story. So if you haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, if you haven't watched the movie yet, watch it.
Also, fun fact.
Go ahead.
No, continue.
I was gonna say I watched the manga, read the manga for it, and I watched the anime for it, so no excuse.
Yeah, the JJK Zero, funnily enough, is the original concept for the story. The main character was supposed to be Yuta, and they just turned it into it's a one shot. It was like JJK Zero is the original one shot for JJK from like years and years before it even took the form it did now, and he decided just to bring it back as a thing, and did a movie on it too. So
yeah, that to me was crazy when I saw. Okay, I just watched season 1, and then I saw the movie, And then I was literally like, wait, this is a prequel, and is Ghetto dead? So that literally confused the hell out of me. But then once I found out about this being, as you say, just a one shot, and he was originally supposed to be the main character, I was like, okay. Still weird how they adapted it, but okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So, would you guys like to get into the questions?
Viewer questions?
Yes.
Viewer. Questions.
So, we whittled it down to 10. That's what we're gonna start doing now, is doing 10. But you're always gonna get 10. So no matter what, get 10 questions, unless you guys don't submit 10. But the first question is, hey.
Yeah.
Is that a question? That sounds like a statement.
Yeah.
Next question.
Sure.
This one's a good one. Since C keeps talking about cereal, give us the name of the cereal you would give if you have one. Keep it anime related. Example: Kana's Prison School Golden Oats. They turn your milk yellow.
Ew. I don't want to keep it anime related. It's all gross and pee.
Can I say Imperial Oats from Satsuki? It'll be like some dictator type of cereal where
Hitler's
everybody
face
has to
on
eat. Everybody has to eat the cereal. You can't eat any other cereal other than this Imperial Oats.
For me, it would be in the Dragon Ball universe. It would be Zenny Crisp. It would be just little Zennies, or I don't know, whatever the cereal would be. I could just imagine it being called Zenny Crisp, just because you buy everything with Zenny.
Mine would be Arnheid's Crave.
Because of course it would.
No, I know a better name. Slave Crave.
When you want Slave Crave, get Ironhide to serve it for you, crawling or dead.
Yeah, you just gotta. The cover of every box is just a picture of dead Arnheide.
Is Satsuki frozen? Okay, he's moving.
When you wake up engulfed in total darkness, see, don't be surprised.
What does that mean? It's a
I will
good
make sure you
idea.
pay for your crimes.
Next question. Imagine you're an antagonist in your favorite anime. What kind of villain would you be? What would be your motivation? What would be your evil laugh?
I feel like I got something like this before.
Yeah, let me think. I would be. Well, I don't know what world I would be in, but I would just be not a typical villain. I'd be like a strong villain, one that's super strong, wants to fight. Not necessarily like bad overall. Maybe I'm just bored with all these competitors, and I just scour the world and globe to just fight a bunch of people, and then I finally find someone like Saitama, and I finally get a good fight. Almost like the reverse Saitama. I guess you could say, what was his name? Garo?
Garo.
He was like that. I liked his villain. I liked his character, and I feel like that would be something that would be neat. And evil laugh. If you give me a second, I'll bring it up.
Gotcha. Well, while EA is doing that, Tekken is my favorite
What?
anime. My favorite anime. What? Did he do it?
What? Did you do it?
I did it. Did you?
I didn't hear it.
We didn't hear it.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Do it again. EA.
Hold on.
That's- All right.
Next.
Satsuki, continue.
If I was an antagonist, my favorite anime, my favorite anime is Kill la Kill. So I guess I'd be antagonist in that. What kind of villain I would be? I would definitely be a villain that's
What the fuck is happening?
What?
What
What's
is that
happening?
noise?
What noise? I don't hear anything.
Oh my. Satan
I'm
back?
afraid. Yeah, you sure you didn't make any contracts with anybody recently, EA? Because something's up. Something's a little fishy.
No. No fish. I don't think. I mean, unless there's some later, I'll eat some fish.
Okay. We'll play it by ear and see whether it occurs again. But if I was a villain in the anime, I would be a villain that's just, I wouldn't say necessarily I'm a chaos merchant, but I'm a person that's just looking out for their own interests. And my interest would probably be in that instance in Kill la Kill just to have fun, whatever, mess with characters. And what my motivation would be? Fun. What will be my evil laugh? Kind of want to have a phony ass laugh, akin to Mr. Krabs, like something like that. That would be it.
Well, I'm gonna pick Cowboy Bebop, and I think, I think I would be a mad bomber, terrorist.
Okay.
And my motivation would be to take down the corporations, yo, at any cost. And my evil laugh would be,
I like it.
and I'd wear, I don't know, a suit, and I'd be really short,
fresh.
Yeah.
Crocodile from One Piece would be my laugh. I forgot how Crocodile laughed in One Piece. Remind me, Vash.
Do all the One Piece people laugh weird, right? All the villains anyway.
My favorite one is probably Caesar Clown. Is
That's such an interesting laugh. It's like, who laughs like that? Shido do do do.
Big Mom says mama 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 mama.
What kind of
Blackbeard says zay ha 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 ha.
And apparently Crocodile is
Really? Okay.
That's what I'm reading.
Well, next question. What anime, or wait, wrong question. Imagine that all of the anime you're talking about this week is going to be adapted into live action. Which anime would you choose to be adapted and why?
This is pretty easy.
Yeah. JJK.
Oh, never mind. This is not as easy as I thought.
Oh. Yeah, JJK.
Okay, see. Okay, but what's the why part? Why JJK?
Oh. Because it's popular.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people would be interested in it. It would make, like, if somebody did it right and they did it in a way that was like how hopefully the new One Piece is going to be it looks like it's going to be a faithful adaptation, though it may be a little different to appease mass audience. I think if they do it right, they could make it to where regular audience goers, regular viewers that don't necessarily watch anime would maybe go, I'm a little curious. I'll see what anime, if this is a really popular anime, I want to see what it looks like. So I think, and also especially if they saw the anime and how gorgeous it looks with the animation, I think they'd be really hooked. So
Okay.
that's why I would pick JJK.
No. I was thinking Zon 100 because it
But we didn't
already.
cover it this week.
Oh wait, they just said this week. You're talking about this week. This week one. Oh, that's true. We aren't talking about this
I mean
week.
that is true. It would be a good one. I was just more thinking this week. Also, by the
Yeah.
way, we're not covering Zom 100 this week because apparently something happened last week. It was a special event, and now they're doing it next Sunday. So that's gonna be episode 5.
Yeah. Okay. I guess out of everything we covered on the podcast thus far, that being Fate Zero, Mushoku Tensei, Kenshin, JJK, I feel like Kenshin would work better as a live action just because it's more. When I look at live action, I think of like what is lost in a translation between anime and live action. With Fate Zero, so much is lost. A lot is lost. Unless you just have the budget for a lot of those special effects. Mushoku Tensei, it's not that things are lost, it's that things that probably need to be lost. Like, I don't think we need to see like 16-year-old like beast girls in yeah.
Dude, gasoline in a live action?
Oh my goodness. That'd be one of those. Okay, we need some super adhesive tape so that the stuff doesn't come undone.
Yeah, I feel like Genshin. Oh my god, what the hell is? Hold on, I need to reset myself. Okay, I'm back. I think Kenshin would be the best translated to live action, just because it's more like realistic. Like there's actual history behind that. You know what I mean? And it's not totally unrealistic to where it couldn't be translated in live action form. So I think Kenshin would be the best.
Yeah, especially the fans of like samurai films or anything like that. I feel like they would really like Rurouni Kenshin.
Well,
Ellie is in the chat. Ellie is in the chat.
Oh, hey, Ellie. Rurouni Kenshin already has a live action. Guess what? It also worked because it won awards. It was good.
Oh.
It's a three-part film. So it's a movie trilogy.
Okay.
And you could it's so popular you could find it in Walmart probably to this day. You could buy all of them there. They came out recently too. So, like the beginning of the last decade, I want to say like 2012, 2013, 2014. They're well received and they're pretty good. So check them out if maybe don't buy it, don't support the evil man, but check it out. So I pick Kenshin.
Mm-hmm.
But basically for the same reasons.
Well, Ellie said, I didn't know KOA today. Gishin, Kenshin fighting style makes sense. Vash said, live action Genshin would be my D-Day. Yeah, shout out to Lisa X. John. Seba.
Owner.
Next question. No, we got to do the audience thing where everybody starts cheering. Woo!
Oh. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
I've been waiting for it, baby.
Alcohol. Next question. What anime or manga has disappointed you? Not necessarily that you thought it was bad, just that you expected something better or different.
Anime and manga. Oh, you should have been more specific. Oh my God, you should have been more specific.
For me, right off the top of my head, I'll say manga. My Little Monster. Very disappointed in that one. I expected more because the anime made it think like... It made me think the anime... Oh, let me rephrase that. I'll do a reset too.
Like the blue blood. Oh, you got.
Okay.
I don't.
What I was trying to say was the anime made me think that the manga was going to be unique and special. So I was, because the anime only has one season, and I was just like, all right, I'll read the manga. Read the manga, very disappointed, and I regret reading it because it made me feel different about the anime since. So
My pick is To Your Eternity. Season 1 pretty solid. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I was just disappointed in it. I felt season 2 could have been way better than what it was. So, that's me.
Let me read this question again. What anime or manga has disappointed you? Not necessarily because you thought it was bad, just it's gotta is it's gotta be Higurashi Sotsu. I was thinking about The Promised Neverland season 2, but Higurashi Sotsu is just worse objectively. It is so horrible, especially for an anime that like basically copies what the original Higurashi does and somehow does it worse with modern animation. I don't think it's good at anything, and that's something eh, that should be marveled at. It's not good at a single good thing, like music, animation, art. Well, art is all right, I guess, but nothing. It doesn't excel at anything. It has a Dragon Ball S fight at the end of it, and that's all you need to say about it. It's a horror manga or a horror light novel originally that has a Dragon Ball S fight at the end of it. That's all you need to say about the series. Encapsulate everything that is bad with it.
And why were they fighting?
Because one of the characters didn't want to study. If you think I'm kidding, watch it. I'm not joking. That's not to be funny. One of the characters didn't want to study, and thus it spiraled into a murder plot.
Sounds like a perfect recipe for genocide.
That it is, because math will make you homicidal. As they say.
Well, next question. What anime or manga has surprised you, not in terms of plot twist? Think of one that was better or different than what you expected.
Quintessential Quintuplets off the top of my head.
That's a really good one.
I think that plot is very bad. If I told you that I was giving you a harem manga in which 5 identical looking sisters were fawning over one guy and that was a plot, you would think trash, garbage, worst thing I ever thought of in my entire life. The execution of it is so great. The plot, the premise and the plot, no, terrible. The execution, again, great. It's a series that has no business being as good as it is. I think it's one of the best harem manga in general. And again, the premise doesn't reflect that.
Come back to.
I think I'm gonna go with Trigun Stampede, just because I didn't think.
That's another good one.
I didn't not. Well, it says not in terms of plot twist. That's what I was gonna go with. Because I did expect that it would be great. So, you know, this is a kind of a doozy here. I really want to go with something. I'll say. Oh man, this is a hard question.
Okay, I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's a really good one. Odd Taxi.
Oh, that is a great one. Yeah.
That anime, I don't think anyone had it on their radar at all before that season that even started. And then it wasn't until maybe towards the end of it where people, including Satsuki, were telling me, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. It's pretty good. And I'm just thinking, how fucking good could this possibly be? But, it surprised me. And all I'll say without spoiling anything is that it definitely has one of the better endings to an anime I've ever seen. And the fact that it's only 13 episodes, can't remember. It's really good. Like, I did not expect it to be as good as it did. And it's one of my all-time favorite animes because of that. How I went into not knowing anything.
Yeah. That was a huge surprise that season. It was in the season with Fruits Basket, mind you, and people should understand how I feel about Fruits Basket. For it to even be in the same league as Fruits Basket for me was crazy.
Oh, I could say Fruits Basket for me because that's how I did feel about it. I'll say Fruits Basket. I was gonna say Princess Principal, which is another good one, but I'll say Fruits Basket because I went into it literally expecting it to be like nothing. Me and Rising, we did a podcast on it back in the day, and we were covering like Fairy Gone, and we thought that would be good. And it was bad, and we didn't want to watch it anymore. So I was like, Rising, you want to let's talk about Fruits Basket or something? Like, we may not like it, but we just talk about it for a week. And we talked about it, and we enjoyed the first episode, and we're like, okay, let's talk about the second one. And it just kept happening like that, and we just became fans of it. So yeah,
great podcast, by the way.
Terrible podcast.
Those.
Yeah, they were fun. I got into Fruits Basket later, so maybe I should rewatch those now that I know Fruits Basket more.
But yeah, it really surprised me. My other pick was going to be Princess Principal, which is a spy series that's not dark, but instead takes on like a moe vibe, which is really good in my opinion. It has a lot of Yuri in it, and it's not Yuri bait either. But next question, Kettle got rid of one of his workers' debt in exchange for him fighting in a war which he lost his arms in it. If Jeff Bezos offered to get rid of your family's, not including extended families, debt in exchange for chopping your arms, would you do it?
Nope.
I want to say it's not me, it's my family. Let me read that again. Not fighting a war, lost his arms, just offered to get rid of family's debt in exchange. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I ain't doing that shit. I need my arms for jerking off, yo.
Yeah.
We're right to the point.
That's basically it. Not only that, I just feel that with my like inflated level of, I guess, confidence or whatever, I feel like I can make something that is worthwhile of my family's debt. So I wouldn't go for that.
I just embrace it. I'd get even more debt. Why not? Have fun. Next question. If you were hit by Truck-kun and isekai'd into another world, would you rather go on a journey with a man or a woman?
Oh.
Well, wait, as a man or a woman, or with a man or a woman?
I think, it says with. Like, who's your companion, I guess.
What the hell? We're all men here, so...
Well, I guess what they're saying is, as a guy, would you rather be with another man or a woman?
A woman.
For me, it would be a guy. And the only reason I say that is because, I don't know, if I am transported into another realm, I would want to be... Again, I'm fine with anybody, but I guess it's more of the camaraderie, with a guy. You become friends with a guy, and then later on, you worry about the woman or something, or whatever floats your boat. But that would be me personally, because I feel like I could get along better with a guy. Just in that kind of retrospect. But I mean, I guess it would just depend on how you feel at the time, because if I did happen to get a woman and, I don't know, maybe you fall in love with them, or maybe they don't even like you that way, they just beat the shit out of you. And, and you go straight up into the sky and just go, ding. Yeah, I'll skip that.
Yeah, I would go with a man. Just for the simple fact that I would be journeying a lot, and I want someone that I know, like I could have that friendship with, and that relatability too, because well, we're both dudes, that kind of thing.
Nibbling each other's ear.
Yeah, jerk each other off. Yeah. But with a woman, I feel it would be like, I feel like if I was a woman, I would want a woman too. Like, I would want to pick the people I get along with the most. So if for example I was in a situation where I needed to maybe have that experience with someone like having the same experience as me, that would come in really handy.
Andy?
Yeah. Nibble on each other's ear, jerk each other off.
I mean,
so
I'll just say for me, I would choose a woman, just because even if it doesn't like result in a romantic route or whatever the sort, I think it would be valuable just in a new world to have someone that doesn't necessarily have your same standing. As a man, you have a woman, who can give you a different perspective in a new world. In this case, I guess if there were a woman, somebody a little more like relatable to you, because we're not saying that they're a woman in this world. We're saying they're a woman in general or whatever. So yeah, I would definitely choose a woman in the situation.
Okay.
Boobs. Yeah, boobs. Last question. What nickname would you force Arnhide to call you if she was your slave?
Oh my god, what kind of question is this?
Satsuki the Savage.
EA.
She's gonna call me the Crave Slave.
Well,
I thought she was the Crave Slave.
Or no, the Crave Master. Yeah, you're right.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would call her the Crave Slave. I would be the Crave Master.
you're a scumbag, so we understand it.
I think, what nickname would you have her call you? Just dude.
Hey, yo, what's up, dude? Hey, what's up, Arnhide? Up top.
Hey.
Hi, dude Sama.
You sound very Japanese for being...
For being, in Celtic. Right, for being Celtic.
Well, that is it. So, EA, I have a question for you, and I need you to know if you can answer it.
I don't know. I mean, okay, yeah. What is it, good sir?
Where can they find you?
Well, you can go ahead and you can find me over at Everything Every Nebbin. That's the channel that I am currently at. You can go there. I keep saying that I'm going to Rent a Girlfriend. I keep breaking everybody's hearts by not doing it. I keep breaking people's hearts in general. I'm sorry, Satsuki. About Danganronpa. He cries and he calls me every night and he goes, "You don't know how much you hurt me." And I tell him it's gonna be okay. I'm dead. You make promises you never keep. You always say you're gonna play Danganronpa, and this hurt me right here. So for that, I apologize. But I know it won't mean nothing until I actually play the game. So you can go ahead and you can follow me at twitch.tv/everything_animated. You can follow me on what used to be Twitter. I tweet. Is it even called tweeting anymore? I guess
It's called
you're
Xing.
zeeting.
I was right. I X/Zeet. I Zeet every once in a while. I'm probably the only one out of the three that would be on there because everyone else is just either gone or no, they're just gone. So
Yeah, I'm literally not on that site anymore. I refuse to click any links of it. I'm not on that site.
there you go. So follow me there, and hold on. I have links to drop in the chat. I run a TikTok, so you can follow that TikTok. I put up little clips of the show and everything. It is spectacular. We got a lot of traffic this last clip that I posted.
Hey.
So that is something. And as I've been showing throughout the night and everything. God damn it. Okay, yeah. Patreon, you want to become a Patreon, do the little thing, you get the little Xing till we drop. Yeah, and I guess since we're talking about Xing, I guess I'll drop the X in the chat as well. So there's all those in there. Click on it, have fun. Love you all, and see ya.
Satsuki.
You can find me on Sasuke the Savage, my YouTube channel, in which I don't post stuff, but I pretend like I will post stuff. But I have a strong urge to want to get back to that channel. I already talked about the one video I wanted to do, the Insomniacs after school video, which that's ending soon, sometime this month. So I'll probably wait until that's finished and then I'll make my video. My where I'm the most active is my Twitch, which is Satsuki the Savage with a DA. So Satsuki, then DA, then Savage. Where you can find me playing Rain Code, Ace Attorney coming this week, Persona 5 Royal, as well as Nike, Goddess of Victory. So we play all kind of games there. And since I'm a small channel, your voice will be heard because it's not going to be a lot of people vying for attention or comments or anything like that. So yeah, go check me out there. I got other dead channels like Satsuki the Reactor or Satsuki the Gamer, where I post my VODs for my Twitch stuff and I edit them. Subscribe to those channels, watch those channels, whatever it may be. And yeah, have fun.
Well, as for me, this week I put out a Chainsaw Man video. I actually put that out today. Yesterday I put out an AOT video on the main channel. So subscribe to C Tactics if you want to see stuff on like Chainsaw Man, JJK, One Piece. Which, by the way, update on the One Piece video. It may not be 2 hours long. It'll be like 1 hour and 50 though. So that's good. But yeah, check out Bento for Chainsaw Man. You can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter. There's no reason to. I would say instead of doing that, follow the King of Anime Pod Twitter, and as well join KOA Plus for $1. It's $1.
It's $1.
It's $1.
$1.
For $1, you could change your entire life.
Literally, what costs $1 anymore?
Exactly.
We're like the cheapest thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
what does your bag of chips cost $1? No.
No.
Gum?
No.
No.
I
Socks?
mean,
No. No.
like, are things $1 at the 99-cent store anymore?
Yeah. even your paper cups or whatever cost $1.07. Costs $1.
Yeah. So don't be a terrible, awful piece of shit. Become a patron over at patreon.com/King of Anime.
Yeah. Well,
You won't regret it. Other than that, thanks everyone for watching the podcast, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Have a good day, y'all. Bye-bye.
Johnny.
Later.